I'm with the shooters, out on that type of computer. I'm with the shooters, out on that type of computer. Fresh about the stove, come and get it while it's hot. Little nigga, Mr. Bird, you was tweaking with a thigh. We done lost some pussy out the beating up the block. I'ma put this shit on gang, I be getting to the guap. Think you hotter than me, then that nigga off the rock. Why Keisha got these niggas really thinking they are ox? Hit them niggas up, got me feeling like I'm Pac. All these niggas pussy and they cherries getting popped. With a Glock 45, all them niggas getting shot. I'ma spin the block, nigga, I'ma spin the block. I'ma ditch the pill, let my man get a shot. Got these niggas switching up from a fan to a op. Niggas really hate that I'm the man on my block, nigga. I'ma stand tall, 100 grand on my block. Strip on fire, sedan on my block. Watching for the feds, it's a van on my block. Lead the motor running, yeah, yeah. Lead the motor running, yeah, yeah. Lead the motor running, yeah, yeah. I can feel it when it's coming, I can see before it's coming. I can feel it when it's coming, Lead the motor running, yeah. Lead the motor running, yeah. I can feel it when it's coming, I can see before it's coming. I can feel it when it's coming, Yeah. It's Sally. I'ma try to just let the music flow through me on this one. Yeah. I gotta speak the truth because the truth will set you free. But the truth will set you free. I gotta speak my truth because the truth will set you free. But the truth will set you free. I gotta speak my truth because the truth will set you free. I gotta speak my truth because the truth will set you free. These niggas all about it free. And don't compare me with them. He reached inside Pandora's box and he left with no limbs, trying to get ahead. And every night repenting his sins, he feel it within, and now it starts to leak off his pen. He wants to give up because now he sees his weakness again. He hates himself because he's different, and he feel like he's been to hell and back 1,000 times and he can't get a win. He knows that the light it flickers, but some days it be dim, convincing himself that the time it moves according to him, and the world is really his, but y'all just living within his perception like reflection. He just bent it again to rationalize his mistakes, to think he's winning again. They face the truth, feel like a lion in this booth. I'm never lying in this booth. In my soul, I be crying in this booth. In the galactic, I travel with a ride in this booth. I gotta speak my truth because the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. I gotta speak my truth because the truth will set you free. Yeah. The truth will set you free. I gotta speak my truth because the truth will set you free. I gotta speak my truth because the truth will set you free. Trying to let go of old ways. Matrix got me in a daze for days. Then I wake up, back to the craze, back to what's great. Sleep again, restart the phase. I'm stuck in a maze. How the fuck I'm still in this place? I've lived, I've died, I've lived, but I'm still on this chase. I've lived, I've died, I've lived, but I know this is fate. The evil one starts to test that arrival. Every day I walk on this earth, an attack on my vitals. I mean my flesh is spirit protected but need a vest. Cause demons they walk among us, we nine, and no we threats. My name Helly.
My name Ted, you know the rest. Need a mountain in Budapest with some monster to denounce my flesh. Is the world becoming a mess? My girl becoming the noose, my wife becoming the test. My kids is all that I live for, avoiding them when I'm stressed. Detached from civilian life, still walk around with a vest. A general when they saw me cut legs and I sever chest. God forgive me for the test that I failed. So no more hell, you're seeking angels in the flesh. We need Jesus. Big crying out since a fetus, believe it. I'm Nicodemus whenever judgment bells ringing, lights fleeting. Tell the truth when the water's deep and the drown when the lies creeping. It's cool in the dark till light creeping. Good offense, get by defense. I buy demons in the name of you know. I'm Van Gogh with Vans on Pluto. Or on Mars, you see stars when we fall through though. The 24K everything. I'm all proof though that it still gold and we still pure. Dante, go ahead, shoot
I gotta
though.
speak my
Real.
truth because the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. I gotta speak my truth because the truth will set you free. Yeah, the truth will set you free. I gotta speak my truth because the truth will set you free. I gotta speak my truth because the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free.
Shout out to everybody in the building, man. If y'all can hear me loud and clear, drop a fire emoji in the chat. Playing everything off my phone. I'm trying to get everything together. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. We need to make sure everything is locked and loaded. Shout out to everybody in the building. We're trying to raise a few bucks to get up and get the computer fixed. Talking about that in a second. Shout out to everybody in the building, man.
Whatever it takes. Exactly.
Right, this shit crazy.
Feel nothing at all. For my pain, it don't feel nothing at all. Yeah. For my pain, it don't feel nothing at all. For these niggas, nah, ain't nothing but God. I had to move around with nothing but frauds. I tried to bring the team together, get my vision involved. I gave a plan, but niggas scrambled. It's time to pick up that call. We can't get 1,500 in a 6-week span. Time to pay up, everybody goes. I be down, I should've seen it. All I got is Rain, Slim, Tim, you know it's Teach. I got Tay and I got Leaf. I got Deja and Salih. I got Foreign, they got Feet. They say your name, that's cause you creased. Them niggas folded under heat. No umbrella, let them shots rain down. You believe the dream to stand up, if not lay down. Let it rain down. If you my nigga, then just say it. If you ain't got it, then just say it. Let it rain down. Yeah,
My nigga, then just say it.
let it rain down.
Let it rain down. Right, this shit crazy.
Yeah. We gotta weather the storm. If you don't understand, get better informed. I'm from the trench, and my trust really weathered and torn. With my niggas from the sandbox, trying to put this shit on top some water, but we laying locked. We all want the same shit, but can't get on the same page. How bad if y'all really want it? Niggas just be saying things, replacing with y'all lives now. Everything that I pipe down. Yeah, I was chilling for a minute, but I'm live now. Niggas talking about the past, come get with me right now. Come and really see my grind. Come and see me live now. I'm live now. I'm live now. Come and see me live now. Ain't no umbrella, let them shots rain down. You believe the dream, then stand up, if not lay down. Let it rain down. My nigga, then just say it. You ain't got it, then just say it. Let it rain down. Yeah. Ain't no umbrella, let them shots rain down. You believe the dream, then stand up, if not lay down. Let it rain down. If you my nigga, then just say it. If you ain't got it, then just say it. Let it rain down. Let it rain down. Yeah.
You my nigga, then just say it. You my brother, then just say it.
Let it rain down.
Let it rain down. Right, this shit crazy.
Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Can I get some fire emojis in here, man? We got 33 people already in here, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Hopefully they send out my notifications properly. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they send out my notifications properly. So since they ain't sending my notifications out and they playing with the algorithm, I need each and every one of you guys to hit that like button, share the live stream, get extra active in the chat for your brother and sister, for your brother. As y'all know, my computer crashed. I'm waiting on my partner to come on and help me screen share. So yeah, the computer crashed the other day. Yesterday we raised quite a bit. We raised a few. We got a few donations. We were still shy about 40 to 52 people. We need 50 people to send in a $3 cash out donation, and we'll reach the successful goal. We're gonna get the computer fixed, get all new hard drives, all that shit. So yeah, we are taking donations. So if anybody want to help support, We got Original Power. Let's get it. I appreciate all the support. Shout out to everybody that did help support yesterday. Reginald Jones, Janetta Yah, Boot Kelp, the Real Autonomous Defense League. Shout out to Aboriginal Hawata, Bronze Flat Power, Aboriginal Strikes, Yida Vilified, Bronze Boot Camp, Inez May, Meyer, Janelle Wendick Jr., Eric Miller, High Life Productions. Who else we got here? Enoch, Truth Over Everything, Laney. Shout out to Sister Laney, the Empress Laney. Shout out to you. Shout out to Rising Aboriginal as well, man. So how y'all feeling? How y'all feeling out here, man? I got some heat for y'all today. I'm talking about I got some heat for y'all today. Y'all know we're gonna start this thing off the first little hour, 2 hours gonna be flit. Hopefully you guys got to enjoy the live stream yesterday. Shout out to A1 for holding it down. Oh, he did like a 9. He helped stretch that live stream out to 9 hours yesterday. So it was a dope live stream. The Trail 10 Well, what's going on? Cherokee in the building. Like I said, my computer crashed the other day. We're gonna try to get that thing back up and going. So we're accepting donations. Like I said, it's just a simple. If we can get 50 people to send in a $3 Cash App donation, we will hit the goal that we're trying to reach. You know what I'm saying? To get this thing going, to get Big Aboriginal Power computer fixed or a new one. Cheaper to get it fixed, especially for all my hard drive and shit. So look at a few people to support, man. Hey, man, I got some heat for you guys. Melanated Americans. Shout out to each and every one of the Aboriginals and like-minded brothers and sisters that's tuning in. Melanated Americans / Aboriginal Indigenous Americans versus fake out of Africa paradigm. Fake out of Africa paradigm. See, this is what we're chopping up now. We're dealing with this fake out of Africa paradigm. You know what I'm saying? This is simply that's simply it. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? We got a lot of shit that we got to do here. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, we got a lot of work. You see what I'm saying? We got to really pay attention to what we got going on. Seriously. We can't allow people to just make decisions on who we are. You know what I mean? We are indigenous peoples of this land. We are the melanated beings. You see what I'm saying? Wake and bake. What's going on? Shout out to the greatest champ in the world. I mean, y'all know what's up, man. This is the Wake and Bake Show, man. It is tradition. I haven't did it in a while. I don't go live quite this early, but it's tradition. Let me know what city, what state you guys are in the chat. We got 54 people in here. Let me know what city, what state you in, and what are you smoking on. I haven't asked you guys that in a while. What are you smoking on this Grand Rising, on this Wake and Bake Show? Shout out to Michelle Norton, Brandon Rogers. Shout out to you guys. Let's get a few people to see how many people we're going to get to support the channel today. How many people can we get to support the channel? I need somebody to help me come on the screen share because I don't want to play it off my audio again. So I'm just waiting. Shout out to Cherokee, South Carolina in the building. KC in the building. I see KC in the building, Kansas City. M. Rolo. What's going on, M. Rolo? I haven't seen you in a minute. Illinois in the building. Somebody say you on that glue, that monster glue. 504 in the building. Let me know where y'all at in the United States, man, or wherever y'all at. Toledo in the building. That's what I'm talking about. Ohio, Midwest. What's up with it? Got a nice cup of coffee. CT in the building. CT in the fucking building, you guys. Connecticut in here. What's the vibes? Chicago in the building. Louisville, Kentucky in the building. South Carolina in the building. Turn up, man. Hey, Lord said he on that Gushers, West Side Chicago. You smoking really nifty this morning, my brother. Like I said, man, I hate that my computer is down, man. I really want to screen share and get some shit going. So we're gonna try to get that thing raised by the help of you guys. So we're accepting all donations. We appreciate all the support, all the love. Boston, Mass in the building. North Carolina in the building. Gary, Indiana in the building. Man, my cousin's from Gary, and I remember early in the early 2000s, late 90s, man, it was a lot of crime rate in the area, man, like the murder capital and shit like that in Gary. I remember going out there in the summers and spending summers out there. Shout out to Gary, Indiana. Molded a young nigga real right. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to all the brothers and sisters around the world, man. We got 60 brothers and sisters in here listening in to the Big Aboriginal Power Wake and Bake Show. For those that are just coming in, let me know what city, what state you in, and what are you smoking on this Wake and Bake Show. All right? LA in the house, a.k.a. Lower Alabama, not LA as in California, Lower Alabama. Shout out to my brother John A. Julian Wooten, Dallas, Texas in the building. You and I one, I see you in here. All right, my brother just now coming on. You better get ready to screen share. So we good to go. We are fantastic. We're locked and loaded.
What does he mean? What does he mean?
No, not yet. I ain't ready to play yet. Sorry, brother. I ain't ready to play just yet. Sorry. Not yet. We're gonna get right into it in a second. But we gonna see how many people gonna support the channel. I mean, y'all don't care about Big Aboriginal Power computer been down. I'm mad as hell. That bitch crashed the other night when 8-1 was live the other night, not last night, but the night before. That bitch crashed. Somebody said Maryland at work. Wish I was smoking right now. I know that's right. You get a lunch break here in a minute. Don't let these honkies and work you to death. You know what I'm saying? Tell you need a goddamn break. And Big Aboriginal Power said it. If they need a reference, tell them Big Aboriginal Power says you need a break. According to OSHA safety, they better have goddamn mats down where you at. Goddamn, and if you're working over 8-hour shift, you need 2 15-minute breaks or at least 1 30-minute. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? You need 1 30-minute, 2 15s. We ain't playing no games. Big Aboriginal Power is an OSHA safety certificate. You know what I'm saying? Certified. OSHA certificate certified. Value man on site at any site. So, you know, got over 120 hours of documented OSHA safety classes and training. Over 120 hours. You understand what I'm talking about? Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. Can I get everybody that's in here? We got 67 people in here. Y'all let me know what city, what state you in. What are you smoking on? That's tradition over here, Big Aboriginal Power platform. We haven't did it in some time, but let me know what city, what state you guys are in right now in the chat. And also drop those fire emojis. Let me know that you can hear the live stream loud and clear. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me loud and clear. I want to make sure you guys are able to get involved in the chat as well. I want to get them likes up. You know, there's 71 family members in here. We got 71 of the family, and we only got 31 likes. That means we got 30 people that have not hit the like button. Real Conscious Defense League, he in Nashville. What's up with it, man? You in Nashville with it? I definitely got to pull up on you. Nashville just a little hop skipping away from me. It's just like 2 major cities in between. You know what I mean? I go through Knoxville, where I'm from, hit them little counties, running the Chattanooga, and then make my way towards Nashville. All right. Julian Woodson in the building. Madison, to be exact. Madison, Tennessee. Okay, you right there then. You right there. You should go to Madison all the time. You know what I'm talking about? Headed out to Sugar Lamb, Tennessee, Philadelphia, Tennessee, Cleveland, Tennessee. You know, that whole little area. You know, Sugar Lamb, Tellico, Loudoun County. You know what I'm talking about, brother. Yeah, we got 42 likes, 68 people in the building, man. Let's get these likes up, family. Please, let's get these likes up. I got my brother ready to go. We ready to share. We got 48 likes, and we got 74 people in here. Let's get these likes up. Talk That Talk Media. If you ain't subscribed to my brother who revamped his YouTube channel and is lit, you know what I mean, getting a lot of traction over there. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Talk Your Talk Media. Talk Your Talk Media. We might be kinfolk or Tanchas, a defense league. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Like I said, man, we are taking donations, trying to raise a few more bucks to get this computer fixed. You know, my computer crashed. If we get 50 people to send in $3, as simple as little as $3, we get 50 people to send in $3, we reach the goal. Or if we can get 25 people to send in $6, or we can get 12 people to send in $12, then we on point. We can get 12 people to send in 12, 25 to send in 6, or 50 to send in 3. We'll reach the goal. It's just that simple, you guys. Help a brother out. Shout out to Kevin Gilbert in the building, Jeremiah Myers in the building. Who else? R.L. Smith in the building, Certified Sanchi in the building, Real Recognized Real Soroya in the building. All right. Now, as y'all come in the building, I need y'all to let me know. What city, what state, and what are y'all smoking on. I even did a wake and bake show in a minute. And since we here, let me light up my backwood. Got my coffee. Let me light this motherfucker up. We locked and loaded now. It's officially started. The Wake and Bake Show, man. Y'all see the title: Melanated Americans / Aboriginal Indigenous Americans versus Fake Out of Africa Paradigm. Who else we got in here? Let me shout out to the family. They in here. They going lit. That 6-1 nickel. The 615. I'm from the 865 though. See, you from the 615. I'm from the 865. Shout out to Jen Marty. Shout out to Gene Marty. Who else we got in here? He on the Delato 42. Rodney Lewis, what's up with it? What's going on, Rodney? Hope all is well. What you smoking on this Wake and Bake? Y'all drop your city and drop your state as y'all come into the chat. I want to know where the family is this Grand Rising. We almost 20 minutes in. We're a little bit over 20 minutes in. Shout out to Susan Thompson. Shout out to Miss Narvars, MD, Maryland in the building. Jan Renee, peace, what's going on? Eric Miller in San Diego on that cereal milk. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You're smoking fantastic this Grand Rising. Y'all know y'all, what's going on? Captain Crunch, he said new subscriber from CUT, from Cut. Oh, what's going on, man? Appreciate you for coming over here, man. From Cut, man. Captain Crunch. It's always a blessing for new subscribers, and I appreciate the new subscriber. Listen, it's tradition over here, Captain. Let me know where you from, if you smoke, what you smoking on. This is the Wake and Bake Show. It's the latest YouTube channel on the fucking market right now. Shout out to Sir Drop in the building. Hawk Yo's my big brother. I'm talking about, when I say big brother, I'm talking about that's my big brother. Like, they can't, you know what I mean? Like, on God, nigga. Hawk Yo's my brother. What is it? What to do with the tribe? Bliss up. You already know, man. We got some heat today, Hawk Yo's. We're gonna get into a bag. We're gonna get into this Aboriginal melanated history here. We're gonna get into R.L. Smith. What's going on? Shout out to Kevin Gilbert for the $3 Cash App donation. Shout out to Kevin Gilbert. R.L. Smith, try it again. I don't know what's going on with it. If you don't got it, you can check the PayPal out. PayPal information at the bottom of the screen as well. Kevin Gilbert, appreciate the $3 Cash App donation. So at least it worked. I don't know if my Cash App is working, so y'all let me know. I think it is because Kevin Gilbert shit just came through. Appreciate Kevin Gilbert for the $3 Cash App donation. We appreciate that. We got out of the 50 people to send in 3, we got 49 down. I mean, we got 40 more left. We got one out the way. All we need is 50 people sending $3. We had one person just sending it in. Shout out to Kevin Gilbert. We just need 49 more of the brothers and sisters. R.L. Smith, you can check it out again if you don't mind. Outlast you, what's going on? In the 615 also. Cousin Tennessee too. What's going on, family? It's a Tennessee thing up in here. Roger W. I'm off on Mondays now. Hawk. Oh, they gave you Mondays off, huh? Ain't nothing wrong with a good Monday after coming off a long weekend. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Hawk Yos. Definitely. Hopefully you enjoy your Monday. You got the babies and grandbabies probably you enjoying time with. So drop Akron in the building. Shout out to all my African brothers in here. All 109 of y'all. Damn, we got a delusional dude in here. We got a delusional dude by the name of YK the Lie. Shout out to YK in the building. New York in the building. Jan Renee. Kansas in the building. Captain Crunch, what's up with it? B Moore all day. Shout out to B Moore. What are you doing? What are you doing? You know what I'm talking about? You geeking, dummy. Shout out to my niggas in Baltimore, man. I fuck with the DOV. You know what I'm saying? You feel me, fool? What up, Mo? What up, Slim? You know what I'm saying? I know the lingo. I'll be out there. Don't trip. DMV in here strong. Houston in the building. Rodney Lewis in the building. Greatest Champ, send me some of that gas monkey, AP, UPS, man. Hey, listen, if y'all want some of that good gas, man, I smoke asteroids. So if y'all want to get some of the shit that I'm smoking on, go to Instagram, type in Asteroid Co on Instagram, inbox my boy using promotion code Aboriginal. You can get the Aboriginal discount on all the organic herbs that you can find, man. So go check out my brother Asteroid Co on Instagram. Asteroid Co on Instagram. Susan Thomas said, I'm smoking from Islander. Very good though. Okay, you're not smoking. Shout out to you, Susan Thomas. It's all good. As long as you want some coffee or something, you in here, you gonna get high off of life while you in Big Bap channel. You understand me? Shout out to Ron Creek, Scottsdale, Georgia in the building, east side of Atlanta. East side, Cleveland now. Goddamn, right there by the BP. I was just playing. Shout out to my sister Soul Main Radio, Great Awakening to the American Family. Don't forget to let me know what city, what state you guys in. Baptism season. Yes, it is. It is. If y'all been talking down on Aboriginals, if you ain't been fully obliged with the culture, if you've been turning your back on your ancestors, now's your chance to ask for forgiveness, and Big Bap will baptize you. You can start over again with a clean sweep. Shout out to UK in the building. Hodge Online, Khalil Finch, what's going on? He said, peace to the motherfucking guys and goddesses. I'm back in this thing. I head out Cleveland Tuesday. I'm smoking on some cherry gelato, cherry lemon cherry gelato. Shout out to my boy. That's good. You smoking good. We almost hit the 30-minute marker. We about to get it. I'm ready to screenshot. I got my brother ready. It's already ready. We just shouting out the family in the building. I love chopping it up with y'all before I even get into a bill. That's what I look for. Besides the information, because a lot of it I already done brushed up on, and that's why I'm presenting it to you guys. But besides the information, I love just to chop it up with you guys, like on some real shit. Like I'm like this in real life. Y'all pull up on Big Bap in real life, it's like that. It's like that. Shout out to Amama Magazine in the building. What's up, Amama? What you got going on? What city, what state you in with it? If you smoking on that good gas, let me know what you smoking on. If y'all participate in the smoking. This is the Wake and Bake Show, so don't feel some type of way. No offense to anybody that don't smoke, but this is the Wake and Bake Show, and it's coming with fire information as well. Old Dog, New Tricks TV, what's going on? Chief Crazy Overstanding, 615 in the building, man. 865 in the building too, man. 865 to the 615 to the 423. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm talking about? From the 423 to 865 to the 615. Tennessee in the building, man. Tennessee in the building, man. Never hungry again. What's going on? Black Wolf, what's going on with it? What's going on with it? Let's get these likes up, you guys. Let's get these likes up. I'm trying to make sure we ain't Hiker, what's going on? That nigga YK said we smoking gas that turned us Indian instantly. I know, man. And y'all start smoking that crack that thought y'all was an African instantly. Thought y'all was a slave. Y'all start smoking that crack and thought y'all was a slave instantly. Y'all gotta cut it out. Shout out to American Engine in the building. American Engine in the building. Georgia Peach, what's going on, sister? Good to see you in here. Good to see you in here. Enox, what's going on? Who else we got in here? Phyllis, what's going on, Phyllis? M. Brown. We got M. Brown in this motherfucker. Headed to Memphis next week, 420. Memphis. Goddamn Memphis, man. Gotta go back to Memphis, man. You know what I mean? Smoking on, and it's a huge difference between Knoxville and Memphis, man. It's a huge difference, man. Shout out to my Memphis folks. Y'all know what's up. Alibaba Haru, what's going on with it? Alibaba Haru, what's going on with it? R.L. Smith, let me know if you retried that again, because I don't know if my Cash App is working. You got me a little spooked now. If it ain't working, what the fuck? It ain't working. The Trail 10 Wheel. 85 likes and 131 people here. Let's get these likes up, man. It's a classic. Glad to see you all, man. We deep in here already. We got 136 in here. I ain't even got done going through the family yet. Glocky, man. You already know, man. This is a Wake and Bake show. Glock, we ain't did one in a minute. You know it's tradition over here. What are you smoking on? What state are you in? Lord said Texas and Sycamore in the building. Alibaba. What's up with it, family? What city, what state you in? Let me know. Everybody need to know where everybody is. I'm on my magazine. Appreciate that. Make sure y'all support the channel. So yeah, man, we got some heat in here today, man. I don't even want to hold you guys up any longer though, but I do want to shout out to some of the people that did support and appreciate and sending in the $3 Jones. Shout out to Reginald Jones, Roger W., Smoke Signal, Michelle Norton, and someone else that wanted to stay anonymous. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to Michelle Norton, Smoke Signal, Roger W., and Reginald Jones. Make sure y'all show some love for them supporting the channel. Let me see this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shit, all we need is 43 more people. Shout out to everybody in the building. All we need is 43 more people to send in $3. 43. We almost there. I'm talking about Texas and Sycamore. And Knoxville. That's where I used to stay in Knoxville. Oh, off of Texas Avenue? Nigga, what you doing over there off of Texas Avenue? Nigga, you ain't from Lonsdale. Hey, Lord. Come on, man. Talk to me, fam. It's a Knoxvillian now. Well, you was in Lonsdale. If you was on Texas Avenue, that's the main street that runs through Lonsdale. Take you all the way to Central to Haskell. Haskell. Come on, man. Lord. Talk to me. You was over there off of Texas, Pascal, Sherman, Lonsdale Project. That's my hood. I am a Lonsdale. I'm an LA affiliate. Niggas from Lonsdale. NFL. You know what I'm talking about? The NFL. Yeah, I'm really from Lonsdale. Real talk. I'm really from there. That's my hood. Smoke Signal. What's going on? We got 100 people in here. We got 133. We got 100 likes and 133 people in here. Unconscious Goddess, peace and blessings. Craig Lloyd, peace and blessings. Mountain City Mellow, peace and blessings. 424, peace and blessings. I just want to make sure I'm shouting out all the family. Oh, they stayed up Ohio then. Either Ohio or Gap Hill. My family owned goddamn 100-something acres still right there. Still got their land right there off of Gap Road in Lonsdale. My family right there. Shout out to Hawk Yost. Shout out to Hawk Yost for the cash out donation. He sent in the dub. He said, I got the 3 and a little more. Shout out to my brother Hawk Yost. Shout out to the brother Hawk Yost, man. Shout out to Hawk Yost. Hey, man. So, yeah, that's my hood, though. That's my hood, Lord. You talking about off of Gap Road. That's where my family is right now. Hey, Bout, do you know Keezy Mac? Come on, man. You know I know Keezy. Yeah, I know Keezy Mac. Are you talking about Sleazy? I know Keezy and Sleazy Mac. I know both of them. Know all of them. And I know, and it's a lot of Max in our family. The Max is a big family around there. You know what I'm saying? The Max is a big family in the city. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. Hey, we ready to screen share too, brother. We ready to get it. I'm a landlord, not a licensed seller. Copper Color Goddess, what's going on, sis? Hope all is well. Z Baby 2 Chains, what is this? Well, this is Big Aboriginal Power's YouTube channel. And this YouTube channel is mostly dedicated towards history, reconstruction history, historical research, archaeology, science, anthropology, and oceanography. You know what I'm saying? So if you like history, you like it coming from your everyday person, not from someone who's putting on a show, then hey, support the channel. And support the channel. All right. Now, if you don't want to subscribe, Z Baby, you don't have to. You know, this might not be your niche, my fam, but this is the Wake and Bake Show. We don't sugarcoat. We unapologetically us. If you don't like it, we understand. You know, but we ain't gonna switch up for shit. I'll be oh well, I'm 15 and I like it, but when you starting? Oh, okay, Z Baby, I got you 15. Shout out to the young brother in the building. Shout out to Z Baby. You go to school tomorrow, right? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at in the United States, Z Baby? Drop your city and drop your state. Shout out to the young man. You supposed to be in school, right? Or you go back to school tomorrow? What up, Bap? Everything is well. Good. Sylvania Jones, peace and blessings. All right, Z Baby, we're about to get into it right now. So I'm glad you're here with it. You can go ahead and start it. Go and let's go ahead and start, you guys. Melanated Americans, Indigenous Americans.
Well, you get
hold on,
the Arizona Gazette.
Melanated Americans, Aboriginal Indigenous Americans versus the fake out of Africa paradigm. All right, so let me. Can y'all hear? Let me know if y'all can hear.
So you got the Arizona Gazette and the Phoenix Gazette. And this one in the Phoenix Gazette says the Grand Canyon. Mysteries of immense rich caverns being brought to light. Remarkable finds indicates ancient people migrated from the Orient. All right. In other words, they came from Egypt. Now, this was hidden by the Smithsonian and still is. All right. Get archaeological cover-ups by David Hatcher Childress. Right. Now, get that book. So Egypt was here in America or in the Americas. The Egyptians came to the Grand Canyon around 1700 BC and even earlier. All right. Sometimes it'd be taking these dates off, but these zeros off these dates. This is proven by the fact that there are 18 temples in the Grand Canyon at the so my 18 temples of the Egyptians, of the ancient Kemites, or what is known as the ancient.
I need y'all to hit that like button. I need y'all to hit that like button real quick. I need y'all to hit that like button. Let me know if y'all can hear it loud and clear. I don't want to, we got somebody helping me screen share, so we got to make sure we on point. Can y'all hear the audio loud and clear? If y'all can hear it loud and clear, drop a fire emoji in the chat. And if y'all can hear me loud and clear, hit that like button. Let's continue.
To the Grand Canyon around 1700 BC and even earlier. All right. Sometimes it'd be taking these dates off, but these zeros off these dates. This is proven by the fact that there are 18 temples in the Grand Canyon at the so my 18 temples of the Egyptians, of the ancient Kemites, or what is known as the ancient Temerians. Right? During the time of the 18th dynastic period, Akhenaten is said to have come here. Right? The Amana family, which is from Nefertiti and Akhenaten, Uncle Unten. All right. So Childress goes on and says, perhaps the most amazing suppression of all is the excavation in the Egyptian tomb by the Smithsonian itself in Arizona. A lengthy front page story of the Phoenix Gazette on April the 5th, 1909, gave a highly detailed report on the discoveries, excavation of a rock-cut vault by expedition led by Professor S.A. Jordan of the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian, however, claims to have absolutely no knowledge of the discovery or its discoverers. You see, they don't want you to know this. Now, the Empress, all right, Empress Verdiasi Tierra Washington Tournica Gaston El Bay, all right, alayhi salam, may she rest in peace, rise in power. According to Earthways, the newsletter of the Sojourning Truth Farm School.
Let's give a moment of silence for one of the oldest active chief and empresses from one of the oldest Aboriginal nations on the planet, one of the oldest nations on the planet. Let's give a 30-second moment of silence for that. And that's for all the falling ancestors, grandparents that we have. Let's give a small 30 seconds to our ancestors that's still blessing us from the other perspective. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. May your ancestors bless us from the other side. You know what I'm saying? Each and every one of ours.
August 1995.
Let's go.
We printed in the Freedom Press newsletter, spring 1996. Right? The Empress says this: the Washita was and still is a nation of Africans who existed in the southern United States and Mississippi Valley region long before the 16th century Europeans arrived, and even before there were Native Americans. All right? So if you're saying that we came from out of Africa, you would have to go back further than just 400 years for us to be here in the Americas. And this is what she's saying. Before the 16th century Europeans arrived, and even before there were Native Americans. That means you have to go back now, further back than 10,000 years ago. We was already here. And it says, on the lands the Washita once occupied and still occupied today. Indigenous people have been all over the world, and specifically on the North American continent for hundreds, thousands of years. Actually, there was some Washita here even before the Africans arrived, dated to when all the continents of the world were one.
So now we gotta be mindful that he's using the term Africa based off of him having and agreeing with an out of Africa theory. But I don't want to harness in on his belief of a theory. I want to harness in on the actual facts that people was here. And he's saying that people was here before a Pangea and after a Pangea. They was here before any cataclysm and after any cataclysm. And so, I want to make that clear. We don't want to harness in on that Africans coming here. We don't want to really, because that's the theory that he believes in, but we want to harness in on the facts that people was already here. And I just want that to be very, very, very respected.
Indigenous people have been all over the world, and specifically on the North American continent for hundreds, thousands of years. Actually, there was some Washita here even before the Africans arrived, dated to when all the continents of the world were one. So even though we might have sprung out of what they now refer to as Africa, of course, you can't refer to it then as Africa, because all the landmasses were together. We spread it out through all of what now becomes the 7 so-called continents. It says their lands and the lands of all the earth was known by the indigenous term Mu. Mu, right? So which also becomes what we now call Asia. All right. Now, these four, or the first Pan-Africanists and the first Afrocentrics or tricks, right? They're responsible for creating the out of Africa and hominid ape theories. Now, I don't have a problem with the out of Africa, but I do have a problem with the hominid ape theories, as I would.
And that's what he said. He don't have a problem with it. We do, because we know that the out of Africa theory is in line with Darwinian theory. We don't want to subscribe to Darwinian theory. You understand what I'm saying? We got 163 people in here, man. Share the live stream. Share the live stream. This is only the beginning. We ain't even got started. That's a lot to get into. There's going to be some heavy information. I'm going to try to let it go through as fluid as possible, but I do want to keep reiterating, man. Shout out to everybody. All we need is 38 more people to send in a $3 Cash App donation to reach the goal. All right. All we need is 38 more people to send in a $3 Cash Out, and we reach the goal, you guys. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to all the American Aborigines. Peace and blessings to you guys and your family. And let's continue this beautiful information.
Show you in a minute.
Shout out to everybody that's in the building.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead and start.
Which was based on eugenics. Eugenics is one group of people controlling the evolutionary destiny of another group of people, or one group of people being made the least fit to survive by another group controlling all of the educational institutions of the world, which have the group controlling every land. Eugenics is how a global people become African descent. Out of Africa, ape turning into humans, all life originating on one continent theory, are nowhere to be found in the ancient Mexico, Dogon, ancient Egyptian, Moorish Europe, nor in any indigenous tribe in Africa, America, India, Malaysia, and Australia. All right, so African-centered aspects come from white supremacy. This is just something to think about. I can't necessarily agree with everything based on the fact that when you get the book, Forbidden Archaeology, all right, the hidden history of the human race by Michael Creedmoor and Richard L. Thompson, in the book it says a groove sphere from the pre-Cambrian South African miners have found hundreds, over 200, of metallic spheres well underground, at least one of which had 3 parallel grooves running around its equator. According to scientists, the spheres are found in phorophylic rock, which is mined in West Transvaal, South Africa, which is 2.8 billion years old. The spheres are not natural objects and their origin is unknown. They obviously was created by intelligent beings. Of course they were, because who the hell was smelting metal 2.8 billion years ago? You know how much
now let's get into this. Smelting metal is a science. That's metallurgy. Smelting metal is a science. And you just don't wake up and go smelt metal out of nowhere. You just don't wake up and learn how to go become a metallurgist, to do metallurgy, to smelt metal, to abstract this natural mineral from its ore and to manipulate it. You just don't wake up and come up with this science. This is a science that has to be understood, has to be passed down, it has to be some type of seniority with it. Shout out to Craig for the $3 Cash App donation. Shout out to Craig Lloyd. All we need is 32 more people. Shout out to Craig Lloyd. All we need is 32 more people. Excuse me, 37 more people. I apologize. 37 more people. Shout out to Craig Lloyd. Shout out to Craig Lloyd in the building. We appreciate the $3 Cash App donation. It takes a lot of fire to mold metal. Yes, and certain metals need certain temperatures, but at least you need at least 1100 degree temperatures for the average metal. Now, we're not talking about mercury, right? We're not talking about red cinnabar. If you any of y'all if y'all into the metals and things like that, we don't need certain amount of heat to manipulate those metals. But for the average metal, for the average metallic mineral that's natural, you need at least 1,000 degrees to start manipulating. Shout out to everybody in the building. All right. If y'all understanding where this is going, where we got to challenge the mainstream knowledge. Like he said, they might find something in America that goes back 300 million years old. They'll take off 4 to 5 to 6 zeros, and now it only says 3,000 years. You see what I'm saying? Hold on.
Heat it takes to smelt metal. Okay. You're talking about over 800 to 1,200 degrees, between 800 to 1,200 degrees. Okay. Now, this is how these spheres looked. Now they call them the cloak spheres, but these are the ones that date back to 2.8 billion years old, right? In which that you can read about. So
now listen. This is some deep shit right here. And I want everybody to pay attention to this, man. I need everybody to pay attention to this information. This is the stuff that they put away. Wake up, man. This is the Wake and Bake show. I need y'all to wake up for this one. This is the shit that they try to hide from mainstream archaeology, you guys. They don't want you to know about this. They don't want you to know about the things that's going on in America. Let's continue, brother.
Destiny.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we're trying to do here today. We're trying to get you to rethink your understanding, understanding of human origin, identity, and destiny. All right? Some of you might be upset about that. Too bad. We're going to keep teaching the truth no matter what you say, no matter the trolls that get on YouTube to make comments. If you want to do something, go and do your own channel and come up with your own facts. It's not hard. All you need is a Gmail account. It's not hard. Okay? And stay your monkey asses. If you want to say that you come from a monkey, stay your monkey asses from off of my timeline and off of my channel. That's how simple that is. Here are some examples. Antelope Springs, Utah. A prince of man wearing shoes, in which that the left shoe has tried it on a trilobite, a creature of 440 million years ago. St. Louis, Missouri. Footprints in Permian rock, 200 million years ago. Now, this is when the continents began to start breaking apart. But the
footprints 200 million years ago. Come on, man. We the gods.
One in Utah,
we the gods.
Shoes dated back to 440 million years ago. That was 200 million years before the continental drift occurred, and we was wearing shoes. Uh-oh. Somebody gonna have to deal with that. I'm glad it's not me. Berea, Kentucky. Footprint in Pennsylvania rock, 200 million years ago.
Hold on, mute this.
Pershing County.
Hey, I need y'all to pay attention to some of these sources, you guys. Y'all ask for primaries. Y'all want references. They're on the screen. He's giving you the art, the site, the actual places, the people who's credited. Do your research. We was wearing shoes 200 million years ago, right before the earth broke apart, bro. What the fuck? And you mean to tell me that you align yourself with a monkey man theory? That is baby talk. That's children's talk. That's out of Africa. We evolved from monkeys. No. The common ancestor is you. All this shit comes from you. It was no time that man wasn't. So we got to rechange this theory. This you coming from an ape needs a theory to counterbalance this, because we don't agree with this. The only other theory you can come up with too is that humans have to come from other humans because you can't have attributes that and given to you from something that don't have what you got. So the way that you are now, if you evolved from something, they had to have had something that's like what you got. You just don't create no new shit. You see what I'm saying? We are the common ancestors. You want to ask where shit come from? They're not telling you when you go back 300 fucking billion years, that motherfucker who everything come from is you. Whether it came from your thought or whether it came from you literally manipulating shit. We the gods. 200 million years ago, we was wearing Gucci's and Jordans and gold chains and shit. You think that shit knew that we act the way we do now? I'm talking about 300 million years down the line, they're going to find a nigga with Jordans in America. They're going to find big Aboriginal power with Gucci and gold on. They go back another 5 billion years, they're going to find more niggas with gold. They go back 100 trillion years, you're going to find niggas with gold. You're going to find niggas with shoes. You're going to find advanced science. The farther you go back and compare it to today, there's nothing different. There's never been a time that you was a dummy, that you wasn't intelligent, that you weren't anatomically modern correct. You're not a Homo sapien. You heard it yesterday. You're a heterosapien. That means you're different than the rest of these other species. And you know how? Because science says it. Science says there's nobody like you. You drive, you take earth, you use shit, you manipulate shit, you can take natural shit and make stuff with it. You can build, you constantly elevate it. No other species does this. You're different than the rest of the niggas. You can't treat us like the rest of the niggas because we ain't like the rest of the niggas. And they try to put us with an ape family and treat us like ape, but we different apes. No, we're not apes at all. You can't treat us like apes because we're not apes. We're not Homo sapiens. We're hetero sapiens. We're different than the rest. Hetero means different.
Nevada, a shoe print showing evidence of a well-cut and double-stitched leather sole in Triassic limestone. 160 to 195 million years old. Glen Rose, Texas, footprint in Cretaceous rock, 70 million years old. Fisher Canyon, Nevada, a shoe print with clear traces of strong threads in a coal seam, 12.
Come on, man. Hold on, run that back. Run that back, man. Traces of thread, a shoe print with clear traces of thread in a coal seam at 12 million years old. So you got a nigga that's probably bad as hell, somebody little kids that was running around in a little and they made that footprint. Come on, man. Even our children's, come on. There's no way you should be finding footprints nowhere, millions of years old, and they're not saying that and they're not talking about it. This is the shit that they want to hide from you.
Years old. See? 70 million years old. Fisher Canyon, Nevada, a shoe print with clear traces of strong threads in a coal seam, 12 million years old. See? And guess what? All of these times that I'm talking about, all the ones that's above 70 million, this is all before the ape species. The ape species didn't exist 70 million years ago.
What we mean by they species, we're talking about hominids, man. There was no hominids on the planet at this time. So if it's only humans that's advanced wearing shoes, no hominids, then where the fuck the hominids coming from? Who's that common ancestor then? We gotta think. We gotta start using our mind. Pay attention, you guys. I'm gonna run this shit back because it's some deep shit right here, and I need y'all to pay attention. Because this is once y'all get this understanding, y'all get that how we took our information to other parts of the world. This is when you start to collect that. This is when you're gonna start getting it. But I need y'all to understand what's being said, you guys. There was people in America doing advanced, modern, anatomically modern shit that me and you do today 20 million years ago, 30 million years ago, before hominid species even existed. That's critical. Also, man, let's get a few more people to support the channel. All we need, like I said, is 36 more people to send in a $3 Cash App donation. We reached the goal. All we need is 3 people. I mean, all we need is 36 more people to send in a $3 Cash App donation. That's all we need, you guys, to reach the goal. Shout out to Stephen Green for the Cash App donation. Shout out to Stephen Green. He said for the big BAP top. The big BAP top. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hey, Stephen Green, you just gave me a motherfucking idea. Because when I look up the top, and this is a sidebar, you guys. When I look up the top richest black people in America, 3 of them are involved with advanced science and technology, some type of technology field. Hey, Stephen Green, the BAP top is something crazy. Not a laptop, a BAP top. I'm talking about this bitch hold infinite information, just like BAP. You see what I'm saying? Hey, you just gave me a motherfucking good idea, nigga. Straight up. Shout out to Stephen Green for the Cash Out donation and that nice insert. We appreciate that. Let's continue the live stream, man. We need everybody to hit that like button. We need everybody to support the channel. Thumb up the video. We got 194 people in here, and we only have 140 likes. So that means it's 50 some people that has not hit the like button, has not dropped a fire emoji, has not let me know what city and what state you in. As you come in the building, drop your city and drop your state as you come into the building. Okay, let's get it, man. Hey, we are the technology, man. You are that.
It's no older than 20 million. And the monkey species is only 60 million. So now they have to change that, oh no, man didn't evolve from the monkey or from the ape. They had a common ancestor. But that wasn't what you said when you was teaching us this shit in biology class. When I was in school, you told us that we came from the monkey. That's what you told us. That we came from the monkey.
Yep. Pause it. When we was in school, we was taught that we come from the monkey. Now we finding out that there was humans older than the monkey species. So now we don't come from the monkey, that we share a common ancestor with the ape. So now we share a common ancestor with the ape. Well, how we become how we are? That means that ancestor had to have shit that we have today that separates us from regular apes. No, that's not the case. We are the common ancestor, nigga. We before all that shit. You got to revamp history. Darwin had it totally wrong. Big Bap got it right. The Aboriginal community has it correct. Give yourself a pat on the back. Shout out to you like-minded brothers and sisters as well that has it correct, that's watching in from all over the planet. Shout out to everybody in the building. If I can politely have you guys hit that like button and drop a fire emoji in the chat, let me know that you can hear and see everything clear. Let's continue. Hit that like button, y'all. Let's continue. Shout out to everybody.
Yeah, didn't they tell you that, Brother L?
Everybody in the building.
Yeah, they didn't tell you that we came from a common ancestry. That's not what they said. They said that we evolved from the monkey. And they show you the monkey, the ape, and then they show you the various so-called monkey men in between, or ape men in between, don't they? And then they show you the Homo sapien. So they show you the Australopithecus, the Africanopithecus, and they show you the Homo habilis. They show you the Homo erectus. Then they show you the Homo sapien. Then they show you the Homo sapien. You know that's what they show you, Brother L. They show you all of this, right? You know, but now we coming with information that shows us wearing shoes 440 years ago, and we smelting metal 600 million years ago in the Americas, and in Africa 2.8 billion years ago. Their whole was flawed. Somebody's lying. Somebody is lying. And this destroys the whole damn Charles Darwin theory. But that's all it ever was a theory. The shit has never been a fact because they have never found the so-called missing link. And never will. And if they do, they'll make that shit up. like they claimed that they did when they went to the moon. Okay? Go get the book, Gods and Spacemen in the Ancient West. So they bear witness to the fact that you are the gods and are the spacemen. And where was you at? In the Ancient West. Raymond Drake says, he states that the Pygmies, who are the Twa or Anu people, inhabited Earth for 30 million years. So for at least 30 million years, we already was here on the planet. So guess what? That's still 10 million years before the ape species. So if there was a missing link, then it must be the Pygmies, the Anu people. If there's a missing link, because there was 10 million years before the ape species. Oh, snap. I think I just found the missing link, Brother Al. Uh-oh.
Now, hold on, pause this. Now, mind you, he subscribes to the out of Africa theory. He does, but he doesn't displace people already being here. He does subscribe, so y'all got to eat the meat and spit out the bones. I want you to horn us in on his literation and his conversation and his document about the Americas. Okay? That's what I want y'all to focus in on. That's very important for you guys to understand that. Like, it's very, 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 very important for you guys to understand that. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's in the building too, by the way. I need everybody to hit that like button too. I need everybody to hit that like button. Real talk. Everybody need to hit that like button. All right, man. Let's continue, everybody. Let's continue. Hey, drop a fire emoji in the building, man. Let me shout out a few people that have supported. I think we got one more person that just supported. Shout out to Yanetta Ya for the cash out donation as well. Shout out to Yanetta Ya. Also, man, PayPal information is at the bottom of the screen as well, you guys. So
1,000 square miles of the planet Earth.
Let's get it.
This is what he was talking about. Here, we talking about the Twa people being on the planet at least 30 million years, and here it is, right in the basement of the museum. We had 28 million year old human skeleton in the British Museum. Excuse the typo. It's in the British Museum, and guess where they found this skeleton at? Human skeleton now, 28 million years, not 2.8, not Dagnesh, you know, which they keep saying is the oldest human species. That died out just like the rest.
That wasn't my shit that cut out. That was his shit that cut out. That's not my
this
shit.
Must be the missing link and never finding. But this one came from the Caribbean islands of Guadeloupe. Showing again that the Pygmies or the Twa people or Pata or Hites or known as the Anu people spread it out. And then I just stay in Central Africa, as they are said to be there now, near the Congo and near Tanzania and Uganda. They spread it out into the whole world.
What are y'all saying out there? Let me see what's going on in the chat, man. You disagree based off what? Oh, y'all going that in the chat. Yeah, y'all edify these brothers and sisters that's coming in here. Edify.
And incorrect. But you attempt to try to debate and try to tell me our legacy is from the Australopithecus and the and the Homo habilis and the erectus, and you know, even calling the Twa people Homo erectus. It's saying that they are part of the Homo erectus. This is what they try to say in science, that they're part of the Homo erectus.
Yeah, they try to say we evolved from some goddamn Homo erectus. Nigga, we ain't homo, we hetero. We ain't no fucking homos, man. Cut it out. Cut it out. Let's get into some bags, man. Shout out. Let's wrap this shit around. Let's bring this shit usurped back around to America. Let's make this shit work. Let's get back into the God.
Right?
Right,
the goddess,
to that heat,
serpent head. All right? That's what we're talking about. So that's the real meaning of Washita. And remember, we showed you that the Washita or the ancient Egyptians were already here, right? It was already here, right? The emperor says over 100,000 years ago, before the Africans came and before there was Native Americans, as they refer to themselves, or the red man, as some refer to them as. But we know if we get a red penny or we get the various copper colored pennies, then that includes majority of our ancestry, which is right here as far as our complexion. All right. So James Churchward in the book Children of the Moon, he claims that there were 64 million people who died in the sinking. Pacific Islands, Hawaii, or the remnant mountain peaks of the lost continent. Now, precise detailed maps of the lost continent of Mu and Atlantis was found on stone tablets from pre-Inca civilization. Who was here before the Incas? Oh, the Olmecs. Okay. The Olmecs date back to more than 5,000 years ago, right here in the so-called Western Hemisphere. In Peru, by Dr. Gerval Cabrera. And it says, engulfed, right, in a stone, engraved in a stone, or photographed by Robert Charot. In 1972, the United Nations diplomat, Farida, all right, Ishkovet, who was the assistant to the United Nations President Adam Malik, went to Maui, which is Mu, all right? Of course, Maui is the capital of Hawaii, but that was Mu. And it says Hawaii, and researched the Lemurian, all right, ruins and history, and concluded that they were real. So when we keep hearing about Lemuria and Atlantis, this was real. The Caribbean islands were Atlantis, and Hawaii, the Hawaiian Islands, was what we now refer to as Lemuria. This is what we see right here, Mu. And as you see, it encompasses Easter Island, Tahiti, all right, the Samoa Islands, Fiji, Tonga, all right, Hawaii, the Caroline, Gilbert, all of that, all right, was once Mu or Lemuria. And the United Nations says that it was real. So I don't really care about you so-called, one book time reading Negroes. Okay? You talking about these are scholars. Right? These are historians who've actually gone out. These are anthropologists and archaeologists in this particular regard, coming from the United Nations. All right? So some things I can get with because it makes sense, and other things you have to pick through because it just doesn't make sense. Prior to the catastrophe or the cataclysms of the 1500 BC, all right, the civilization of our ancestors will flourish in and from the Americas to Egypt, was known as Atlantis or the Atlantean Empire. After the cataclysm of 1500 BC, this disrupted Atlantean Empire was later reunited under the Moorish Empire, which at various times and to various degrees covered almost the same extent of territory. At the height of the Moorish Empire, there was Moorish dominions in West Africa, North Africa, the Mediterranean, Spain, Portugal, Southern France, England.
Listen, man, eat the meat and spit out the bones. I know a lot of y'all don't like the term Moorish. Hey, just eat the meat, spit out the bones, just like the Africa shit. Harness in on the location and the peoples. That's what we need to harness in.
Ireland, Scotland, Americas,
got fire emojis.
There was also Moorish dominions and rulers in Asia, in India, Asia, and the Pacific. Right? Now, Brother L, I need for you to do the Marine song for me. Exactly. Yeah, you know, that's good. That's good right there. So from the halls of Monte, which is the Inca, which was here in the Americas, right? To where the shores of Tripoli. Where's Tripoli? Tripoli is the capital of Libya, Africa. Okay. That was part of the Moorish dominion, of the Moorish Empire. They told you this. This is why they was able to go in Libya and remove Gaddafi. Okay. So Brother Hakeem Bey goes further. He says people are all over the world. Some report that it was as a flood, Noah, Bible. Some as earthquakes, Atlantis. Others as volcanic eruptions, terror. All of these were all various local descriptions of a series of worldwide cataclysmic events. As a result of the various cataclysms, there was a vast destruction of land and mass migrations of people in search of new homes.
Hey, now listen. I want y'all to pay attention to this because it's critical. These cataclysms that he just named, y'all might not agree with, but we don't care what you agree with. Contemporary science and data today has confirmed these cataclysms. Okay? Let's go.
Right? This is what he was talking about. All right, so we find that we are the original people of Atlantis, of Lemuria, of Australia, of Asia, of Africa, of the Americas. It's hard to believe. Well, let's go to the United Nations definition. Indigenous.
That's what I'm trying to tell people. This whole planet at one point in time was Aboriginal. It was all Aboriginal. Same science, same shit, same people. Coming from one particular place that we peopled and populated the whole fucking world, man. This is the out of America theory, nigga.
Those people having a historical continuity with the pre-invasion and the pre-colonial societies considered themselves distinct from other sectors of societies now prevailing in those territories or parts of them. They form at present non-dominant sector of society and are determined to preserve, develop, and transmit to future generations their ancestral territories and their ethnic identity as the basics of their continued existence as a people in accordance with their own cultural patterns, social institutions, and legal systems. Are you indigenous? Well, I don't know. The United Nations give you the definition of indigenous, and one of their drafts, which was approved in September the 18th, 1995, is called the Inter-American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. And they define indigenous people. One, in this declaration, indigenous people are those who embody historical continuity with societies which existed prior to the conquest and settlement.
All right, run it back. Run this back up 10:26. I mean, but listen though, y'all listen. I need y'all to pay attention, very close attention. This is some heat that he's dropping right now. And for those that don't know, my bad. Listen, shout out to everybody in here. I'm glad I got somebody on here to help screen share while I'm on my tablet. My computer crashed. I got some other heat I want to bring in that's additional to this. I can't even screen share right now. And it just be doing too much trying to put in the back chat right now. Listen, this is some heat, man. We got 228 people here. I need y'all to share the live stream, man. I need y'all to share the live stream. We just getting cracking. I need y'all to share the live stream. Let's try to get 400 people in here today. We're gonna get 400 people in here today. I need y'all to drop those fire emojis, man. Listen, like I said, we only need 35 more people to send in a $3 cash out donation. You see what I'm saying? All we need is 32 more people to send in a $3 cash out donation to reach the goal, man. So I appreciate everybody that has supported. Shout out to the 230 people in here. I know we can reach that goal. We got 230 in here. Come on, let's reach that goal. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. I appreciate everybody for tapping in, y'all. Let's get it.
Which was approved in September the 18th, 1995. It's called the Inter-American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. And they define indigenous people. One, in this declaration, indigenous people are those who embody historical continuity with societies which existed prior to the conquest and settlement of their territories by Europeans. So before 400 years ago, you were the indigenous people here. Oh, check this out now. Alternative one, as well as people brought involuntarily to the New World who freed themselves and re-established the culture from which they have been torn. Damn, that's even include those who was brought here 400 years ago from Africa. So even if you came from Africa 400 years ago, and or either you have ancestry who was already here over 400 years ago, regardless, you are part of the indigenous people according to the United Nations definition of indigenous people. What's the criteria? Oh, here it is too. Self-identification as indigenous or tribal shall be regarded as a fundamental criteria for determining the groups to which the provision of this declaration applies. Wow. So you're supposed to self-identify yourself as being indigenous. Can you do that? Of course you can. You must have self-determination. You must want to be self-autonomous, self-governed. You have to do this. Self-identification as indigenous or tribal shall be regarded as a fundamental criteria for determining a group to which the provision of this declaration applies. This declaration applies to those who are indigenous and who have determined that they have indigenous heritage, whether here or whether it was those who came here 400 years ago. It doesn't matter. So all this bickering about,
Pause this. Hey, Reggie, I'm sorry to break it to you, but no, we don't come from early humans that evolved from primate or ape species that come from a great ape species that come from a monkey species. No, we do not evolve from that. No, we have contemporary data that proves that advanced type human species was here longer than this monkey or ape or early human or hominid species. We have documents. So no, we do not subscribe to the Darwinian evolutionary theory.
Oh, black power. I'm African. And those saying that, oh, I'm indigenous Aboriginal, or I'm a Moor. Like you sound like jackasses with all this dislocation. And the European is sitting back saying, look at these jackasses once again. Look at them. Always down trying to debate something when the shit has already been solved. Right? So, right, already been solved. So we as at the United Nations, Washington has the IPO or seat number 215.
Pause this again. Reggie, no, this is not a religious camp over here, Reggie. No, we do not believe or subscribe to your theories. This is nothing like the conversations that you have. You've had fragment pieces and other people's theories and evolutionary signals to explain something when it can't explain it. So we use a natural Aboriginal science to explain what evolution cannot.
/93, which means 1993. And we have the IPO, which is the Indigenous Peoples Organizational number 2421 at the United Nations. And so as you come down, because some people say, oh, the United, we can't find information on the Washington at the United Nations. Well, it's on their website. You go to United Nations or UN.org, you will find it. I got at least 23 different interpretations. Okay? But it says here, Washington, deduct the money, new Ayet, oldest indigenous people on the earth. That's in the report. Now, of course, this report is no longer there because they don't want you to know this. After we started publishing this information, and once again, we've been doing this. We just didn't start last year. All right. You have some individuals, who just started, coming out and, excel pretty far, as far as clicks and likes on their channels, and that's fine. However, a lot of this information was already out. It was either Brother Hakeem H.Y. Bey, myself, or Brother Bobby, who put this information out over 20 some odd years ago about us being the indigenous people here. Okay? So this isn't just us coming up with something in 2000. This is something in which that we've been talking about since the early to mid 1990s. And I remember I was 11 years old. And I remember, I guess, one of my ancestors or an internal voice, intelligence, spoke to me and said, what if we was already here? And I was 11 years old. And at that time, I was doing heavy meditations because I was doing yoga. I started yoga at 9. So I had the ancestors talking to me all the time in that regard, through my dreams, and then through hearing the voices and telling me, what was going on. And so, and I'm not talking about like a crazy person. I'm talking about information. I'm talking about real information. I ain't talking about, go digging in some garbage can type of shit. I'm talking about real channeled information, right? And so the voice said, what if you was already here? Because I was thinking about, at the time, the Alex Haley story, Roots, and, and slavery, and, lynching, them castrating us, and so forth and so on. All right. So, this is how I got into it, because we talking about the ancestors talking to me, and telling me what was going on, So this is something which that we just came up with, this is something which that has validity, as you see here, as we going over tonight. So it says the obscured mound builders were indigenous blacks of North America, ancestors of America's Washita Empire. Okay, that's what it says. And let's go further. It says, though so many have been deliberately destroyed, over 200,000 ancient pyramids and huge mounds of the earth in the shape of cones, animals, and geometric designs can still be found from the southern coast of America to Canada. These structures were built by the so-called obscured people, largely known as the mound builders. Right? The truth about mound builders is suppressed. Why? Because they were an advanced civilization of dark-skinned, woolly-haired blacks who were indigenous, native to North America, kin to the Olmecs of South America. At one time, the Africans and the American continents were joined, as proven by their similarities of tropical plants and animals, geographical traits, and their appearance of fitting together. And if you want to go further, in Alabama and Florida, which you can look at, find the article on Google this, you will find that portions of Africa still exist attached to Alabama and Florida to this very day. The black mound builders were the Washita Moors, the original inhabitants of North and South America. Many blacks in North America was unknowingly descendants of these mound building indigenous blacks and are not descendants of black African slaves. Therefore, Columbus were not entirely wrong in calling the people Indians, for the true meaning of Indian is black person. The massive remains of this ancient black civilization empire stands as one of the best kept archaeological secrets in the country. Ancient American Magazine, issue number 17, reports Evidence for black-skinned natives in the Americas long before the arrival of Columbus is abundant. From the distinctive Negroid features of Colossus Olmec sculptured heads and the pre-Aztec obsidian bowls being held by a figure with unmistakably black characteristics, right, to the bones of Negroid persons excavated from a tomb.
Shout out to everybody in the building. I will be dropping the link probably sometime after the end of this video. And like I said, shout out to Eileen Bay. I do not agree 100% with everything Eileen Bay, but I am focusing in on some of the credible sources and facts that he is dropping pertaining to the archaeology and history of the Americas. So some of you guys may agree with other things, and you're allowed to use those sources as well based off of your own perspective. All right. Shout out to Eileen Bay, man. Shout out to Eileen Bay.
2,000-year-old mound in northern Wisconsin. A wealth of material exists to establish the certainty of non-white, non-Indian population living in the pre-Columbian America,
delay,
along with these other groups. Right? Many mound builders was huge. Their ancestral skulls was often 7 to 8 feet. The only other living person on the earth that tall, or another group of blacks, the Maasai of Africa. In his book,
Brother Reggie, pauses. Yeah, appreciate it. Brother Reggie, I've already elaborated on what I disagree with Brother Eileen Bay and what he believes, because he said he believes, and belief is a form of doubt, and I don't have to be inclined to his point of doubt or his belief.
We are the Washita website by Dr. Umar S. Bay, himself a Washita Moor and authority on the Washita mound builders, documents that the black mound builders, he also documents the present day Washita Nation in Louisiana. All right. That's what he says. So this is what we're talking about. All right. And recently recognized by the United Nations and the Empress of the Washita, Verdiasi Tierra, Washita Tunica Gaston L. Bay. All right. So that's what we're talking about here. And you have to pay attention to these types of things. All right. Now, this area called the Louisiana Purchase never was purchased. Never was. That's just what it is. Oh, okay. Okay. Can you see it now? Can you see the slides now? You still can't see it? Okay. Let me nah.
Oh, I understand, Reggie. I understand, especially when you've been conditioned by colonizers and CIA to have the way you think. So what we do is use critical thinkers over here. We're using the only the facts. We remove other people inserts of theories or they beliefs, and only keeps the facts. And what we do is, with our own wisdom and custom, we're able to be our own observers, and we come up with our own theory, right? Which is being formulated and formatted, right? We don't use the theory of the colonizer, of this backed by eugenics, and you believe to the point where you have been conditioned so much that you believe that your farthest back ancestry in your lineage come from an ape. That lets me know that you have been conditioned. And so what we have is a set of people that is critical thinkers over here, Dr. Reggie. We don't believe we come from apes.
Last slide. Okay. Let me try it. Hold on, y'all. We having technical difficulties. We gotta make sure we get everything right here. Can you see it now?
Pause this. Reggie, I said nothing about Europeans. There you go again. And like I said, you might be having a confusing comprehension problem. But I said you guys totally believed everything and doesn't challenge the colonizers' information. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we said. And so we don't, this out of Africa theory has been conditioned by, just know some of your favorite leaders of the CIA, Dr. Reggie. And you
All
are,
right, well, we're just going to continue on.
and don't even know it. Could be a proxy of.
What you see? Okay, word. All right. All right, so let's go.
Reggie, are you familiar with the African Heritage Society and the African American Culture Institute by L. Gray Cohen? Are you familiar with that at Columbia University? You can go ahead and hit play. That's just a question.
Come on down for what we just talked about. And here is the Lewis and Clark. It says on 2,500 voted by dollars voted by Congress made in 1804, 1806 journey to the Pacific that revealed the West dazzling promise. This print of the explorers meeting with Indians came from an 1810 account, right, of the trek. Now, of course, we can't, nothing we can do about the ambulances and fire trucks and stuff going by here. So just bear with us as we get through. Right, Louisiana purchased in 1803 nearly double the nation's size. Bought from France for $15 million, 2.5 cents an acre, on Jefferson's initiative. It won Congress approval after debates over whether the Constitution was violated. Now, this never happened. They never received, Napoleon or France never received the total $15 million in gold, right? More than 13 million, actually, yeah, they paid 13 million out and 2 million in gold was sunk beneath the ocean floor, something like that. And as a matter of fact, the Empress make mention of it in the article, Inner City Plow, right? It says, Louisiana continuing her quest to bring light to the truth to light. Empress Verdiasi Tierra Washington Tournica Gaston L. Bay recalled 40 years of work, including research as an archivist in order to locate documents and treaties concerning land known as the Louisiana Purchase, in which her people are identified as the ancient ones. The Empress said that her that their land was never included in any land deal, and that it was not part of.
I just want to say, Dr. Reggie, we call you Dr. Reggie because we respect that. You see what I'm saying? You understand, Dr. Reggie? You have put in enough work and it does not go unnoticed, whether I agree or disagree. We do respect it, and it is honored amongst your people of your kind from the work you put in. You have earned that title. We give you that.
Of the Louisiana Purchase, which sold to Spain, to France. Nor was it bought in 1803 when France rolled it over to the United States of America. She writes, President Thomas Jefferson was well aware of this fraud, all right, of this fraudulent land deal, and stated, his sentiments at the time. In truth, The land spoken of here never been a part of the United States of America. It has always belonged to the ancient ones. This sounds like the same land President Abraham Lincoln was going to return to the Moors after slavery. He called it, all right, he called it Egypt of the West, or the Central America, the land between the Rocky and the Allegheny Mountains, from the Gulf of Mexico up into Canada on both sides of the Mississippi. And her cousin, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, said the same thing, that before the Europeans came, we lived all up and down the Mississippi. So in 1848, the Washita, also Ushita and Turnaka nations, this is why we are the Royal House of Turnaka, nations took their land case before the United States court and won their case under Judge Taney. The same in 1856 gave his opinion, which was not a legal decision, in the tragic Dred Scott case, which basically stated that there's nothing that a black man has that a white man is bound to respect. The result of this opinion.
Pause this right quick, man. Man, I need y'all to hit that like button, man. It's very important for you guys to hit that like button, man. I need y'all to thumb up the video, support the channel, man. Very important for you guys to support the channel. Let's go.
States versus the Henry Turner heirs here, right? This is also the grant, in which that includes those various lands in which that was made mention of earlier, previously, even in Europe, all right? Get the book, The Discovery of America, an Outgrowth of the Conquest of the Moors by the Spaniards. Okay, get that book. You need to have that book in your library. And once you read it, then you come back and comment. Then you come back and try to, get at me if I'm wrong, which I'm not. Then you can talk. Until then, I wouldn't open my mouth if you haven't read the material. If you haven't read all these books that I made mention of tonight so far, keep your mouth closed. That's what a smart man do. It's only a fool when he opened his mouth that we know for sure that he's a fool. Okay? So.
Hey, Reggie, did you hear that? I'm gonna run that back because that was meant directly for you.
And it's only a fool when he opened his mouth that we know for sure that he's a fool. Okay? So you gotta make sure that you keep your foolish behind mouth closed. So in 1887,
Florentine, not a coincidence. That goes for you guys
discovered
as well.
Apparently man-made heaths, primitive flintstones or tools, carved bones, and a moderate-looking human spinal bone in Pliocene strata 3 to 5 million years old at Monte Hermosa, Argentina. He also made some finds in Miocene in Argentina, dating back to 5 to 25 million years old. Now, hold up. A moderate-looking human spinal bone? 3 to 5 million years ago? In the Americas, in Argentina, South America? And then another one, 5 to 25 million years old? Okay. Between 1894 and 1921, mineralogist and archaeologist William Nevin discovered ancient cities in Mexico that dated back to the beginning of the Pleistocene era, which was 2.5 million years ago. Further into the Tertiary era, beneath volcanic ashes, Nevin recovered over 2,600 stone tablets, as well as modern human skulls that show Negroid genetic markers. Nevin's Jaguaro collection are now in the American Museum of Natural History, which is in New York, and the Peabody Museum of Harvard University. Right? My wife and I have been to the American Museum of Natural History. Okay. Here we also find Virginia Stein McIntyre in 1969, and if I'm not mistaken, she's still alive, and she actually has spoken about this. You can pull it up on YouTube. And this is throughout the United States Geological Survey excavated team led by Virginia Stein McIntyre in 1969. Human habitation was found existing in Mexico for at least 250,000 to 350,000 years ago, based on human artifacts. Human artifacts. So I thought the humans were just coming out of Africa around this time period. What was they doing in Mexico? See, this is the discrepancies that you have to consider. All right, and it says, based on human artifacts and stone tools tested at the Huyac Tolaco site near the city of Pablo. Shortly after the dating of the site was made public, the head of the Mexican Archaeological Department of the Mexican government became very upset at the ancient dates and ordered the Mexican army to close the site and confiscate all artifacts. And Stein was told to change the dates and take off a zero. So they wanted it to be 25,000 to 35,000 years ago instead of 250,000 to 350,000 years ago. And really, they wanted it to actually take off 2 zeros to be 2,500 to 3,500 years ago. But that would have put them in time with the Olmec being in that area. Because remember, they said that the human artifacts, all right, that was tested, all right, this was Negroid, right, as they refer to it as, right? But it says she stood her ground and jeopardized her career. And that's what happened. So European albino, or Albion, as we refer to him as white, archaeologists such as Josh Rees, Ross Hamilton, and I know Ross Hamilton personally. My wife and I have gone to the Serpent Mound and actually did a presentation for Ross Hamilton. And actually, he allowed for us to walk on top of the Serpent Mound to activate it, and plus took us down to the bottom to a crystal stone that he wanted us to activate, because he said that he believed that there's some type of craft underneath that particular structure. Right or wrong, Queen? You know, so this is what was said. And Jim Verrera, so he says, etc., has already revealed that the first Americans were native, indigenous, black, aboriginal, who built ancient mounds, advanced civilization, stone rock sculptures, and indulged in high science of star observation, earth consciousness, nature-based living, cosmological admiration, mathematical copulations, and time reference, etc. So-called black people in North America are natural descendants of these great spirit walking ancestors. You are what your ancient foreparents were. All right, now, this is hard this is hard, you know, to understand, but it's not. I gave you the calculations from 2.8 billion years, 600 million years on down to now. Okay? Who has done that for you in the so-called conscious community? They keep regurgitating the same nonsense and don't put the pieces of this puzzle together. That's a problem. Look, even Alex Jones, in his recent in his recent TV broadcast, he stated that the Black Americans are not African. In other words, they didn't recently just come over 400 years ago on so-called slave ships. They was already here. Even a European Albion is bearing witness to this. Alex Jones bear witness to it. You're the only ones that keep denying it. Because we know that moderate Native Americans, so-called red man, closely resembles people of China, Korea, and Japan. They're Mongoloids. They're from the Mongolians, Chinese. Okay? And we know that the Chinese came in droves in 1421. Okay? But the oldest American skeletons do not, say archaeological and paleontologist James Chatter. Lead author on the study of the owner of Applied Paleoscience, a research consulting service based in Bothell, Washington. The small number of early American specimens discovered so far has smaller and shorter faces and longer and narrower skulls than the Native Americans, and more closely resemble the moderate people of Africa, Australia, and South Pacific, the same areas that we told you earlier that we descended from. That's why we just can't say Africa by itself. You also have to say Australia and South Pacific is where your ancestry came from. Richard Nave, University of Manchester, England. He shows you Lucia. This dates back 12,500 years ago. More than 6,000 years before the European was on the planet. Okay? These are things in which that DNA companies forget to tell you. Nays further point out that the Aboriginal found in the North Americans resemble what currently would be described as African Americans, as unresolved morphological position between moderate South Pacific and Europeans. All right. Researchers from Spain, Mexico, and Argentina wrote an article which acknowledges that the Paleo-Americans did not look like modern American Indians. Sorry. I know y'all might want to get upset if you're American Indian, but that's fine. You are our descendants. You are our children, just like everyone else is on the planet. That's nothing to get upset about. You know, only reason why you feel like that is because of the racism in which that has been put forth to you in this society. And you see us as so-called blacks being at the bottom of the totem pole here in the Americas and around the world. But before the Europeans came upon this planet, it was just us upon this planet. Okay. It says the Paleo-Americans was classified phenotypically as African, Australian, or Malaysian-based or multivariate methods and quantitative analysis. This grouping should only be sub-Saharan African and Australian population because the Malaysians or South Sahara Africans share the same cranial matrix measurements. This cranial matrix illustrates that the Paleo Indians belong to the Black variety, but did not allow us to establish conclusively where the Paleo Americans originated. Some researchers believe that the Paleo Americans came from the East Asia across the Bering Strait or from Europe because of the solar trend tool found throughout North America. These points of origination are unlikely because the ice shelf of the northern latitude would have prevented passage from these destinations to South America when the oldest Paleo-American site has been excavated. The most likely place the Paleo-Americans came from was Africa, which is closer to the Americas. So They're saying that the Paleo-Americans, who are the first or the earliest Americans, came from Africa, which is told to you in the book. President early Africa, also they came before Columbus.
That's not my audio. That's his audio, actually. It's not my audio.
People talking, but this is what he says. All right, he says to me, this is a Negroid face, and it has all the features that would be associated with a Negroid face. The proportions of the face does not say anything about it being a Mongoloid. This is Dr. Richard Nave. He is a British forensic scientist. So you take up your problem with us being Aboriginal indigenous people with the British forensic scientists in the University of Manchester in England. Take it up with the BBC, the British Broadcasting Company. They say that the Brazilian find shows that the New World was discovered tens of thousands of years earlier than previously believed, certainly well before the time of the American Indian. Prehistoric skulls were found buried in layers of soil in Brazilian caves that are the oldest skulls of America. Lucia belonging to the race found historically along the rim of the Indian Ocean in the islands of South Asia, in East Africa, and in Australia and Malaysia. All places where we can be found to this very day. Then Walter Nave, a Brazilian anthropologist, says this: the first reaction was not to believe in it, but as the results repeated so many times, and the results were exactly the same thing, the skulls are very similar to Australian Aborigines and Africans, and no similarities at all with the Mongoloid in Asia, nor with the American Indians. So once again, you take this up with the British Broadcasting Company, you take this up with the British forensic scientists and University of Manchester in England, and you take this up with the Brazilian anthropologist, Walter Neve. Like, you take this up with them concerning who you are. Okay, that's the problem. Don't come at me, because I'm just going to try to cut your head off, and I might even cut your ass out. Right? So you go and take it up with the Albions, Europeans that have said that you are the original people here in the Americas. You know, would you go ahead. Yeah. Right. Right. Exactly. Mm. Mm. So you might have to say that again, Brother L. Right. Unless though, I don't know, Brother L, the white man could be lying to us again. Right. But you know, he lying to us again. You know, he lied about everything in history. You know, he could be lying to us again, Brother L. Right. Yeah, yeah. I think you just saw that. Right. Oh, oh, oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think he would have to lie about that, would he? You know, why would he lie about that? That would be very disruptive to his whole ownership of land, and us believing that this is actually a de jure government when it's a de facto government. That would be disruptive to his whole thing, as far as having control over us, and mind controlling us, and so forth and so on. You know, but see, he understands that people, no matter if you tell them the truth or not, they're not and will not bear witness to it. So he don't mind doing that. He'll tell you the truth. Sometimes it might have a little bit of falsehood there, but he'll tell you the truth. So this is Lucia, and they repainted how she might have looked at this time, and of course, looked like a sister. As they said, from Malaysia, Australia, Africa. All right, looks similar to Cicely Tyson. Right, the report by Dr. Bert Eli, a biology professor in the University College of Arts and Science, and colleagues at the universities of Massachusetts and Maryland, revealed that fewer than 10% of the African American mitochondrial DNA. And this is what it says, that fewer than 10% of the African American mitochondrial DNA sequence that was analyzed can be matched to mitochondrial DNA from one single African ethnic. So we just finished saying that, yes, there's African blood, there's also Australian, Aboriginal blood, as well as there's also Malaysian, which is Pacific Islander Ireland blood. So this is where we get our genetic makeup from. Okay. Get the book, The First Americans Were Africans, Documented Proof by Dr. Imhotep, PhD. You got that book, don't you, Brother Al? Okay. Okay, what you think about it? Yeah, tell them a little bit about what you think about it. Why is it a good book? Why they should get it in their library? Mm-hmm. Right.
Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. We're gonna switch gears and get into the next little segment of the audio that I have. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Hopefully y'all enjoying the information. Eat the meat and spell the bone. Like I said, I do not agree with everything that Eileen Bay says. Shout out to Eileen. He dropped some heat though. He dropped some heat. For those that came in late, y'all might want to go back in and check out the early segment of the video, you guys. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. But we about to get into another segment of the video. We got 281 people in here. We got 200 likes though. So let's get like 80 people, 70 people to hit that like button, man. We need a few more people to hit that.
So when you deal,
we need a few more people to hit that like button, family. Need a few more people to hit that like button. That's all. Let's get it in. Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. Drop them fire emojis if y'all can hear and see everything in the building. Don't forget to support all Aboriginal platforms, man. If y'all have not supported the channel, man, make sure y'all support the channel. Moderators, let them know what's going on in the chat. Moderators, help the brothers and sisters out that's coming into the building. Shout out to all my moderators, the solid family. Also, shout out to Ricardo D for the Cash App donation. Shout out to Ricardo D for the Cash App donation. We appreciate that. Shout out to all the Aboriginal people across the planet. Shout out to the American Aboriginals. And shout out to some of my lost Africans who's been conditioned. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into you guys, you boule CIA ass niggas We'll get to y'all in just a second. Shout out to all the American Aborigines in the building, man. Let's get straight to it.
You need to understand you're playing chess. And so now your culture informs you of who you are dealing with. So when you deal with this, right? 4 and 4. What is this? This is the Ennead and the Ogdoad, which is a copy of the Pesegit. 4 male, 4 female, 1 creator. Why do you think they have the so-called Sphinx? What are they saying that they're patterning themselves after? Let's look at the founder. Henry Minton was the founder of Sigma Pi Phi Boule. He founded the order on May 15, 1904, in where? Philadelphia. He, a pharmacist, a dentist, and 2 physicians, Henry McKee, Minton, Dr. Algernon B. Jackson, Dr. Edward C. Howard, and Dr. Richard J. Warwick met and announced to themselves and to others that a new world was coming. What new world? In 1904? What happened after that? Federal Reserve, IRS.
Shout out to everybody in the building. Pause this for me. Shout out to everybody in the building. YK, I stopped it because it's my video, bro, that I want to. And we played 2 hours of the video of what I want to listen to. He was about to end it. He was getting into some other shit that wasn't pertaining to what I wanted to listen to. And it was somebody else about to speak.
FBI, CIA, all the intelligence agencies, all of these Africana studies started coming. What new world was coming? On Vanity Fair magazine's July 2004 issue, page 128, founder of the Boule, Henry Minton, comments, state, and openly admits he wanted his organization to be like or patterned after the Skull and Bones, the Brotherhood of Death, founded in 1832 in New Haven, Connecticut, and it was called the City of the 9 Squares. 8, 9. 9 squares. So, what am I getting at? This is just questions that I have to ask. All right, let me go further. Who started calling us Africans? Was it not Masons? It was Free African Lodge 459, which was to be the focal point of a struggle for civil rights that constitutes to this day. Early members of the Prince Hall Masonic fraternity were ministers who? Jupiter Hammond, Richard Allen, and Absalom Jones. I'm circling all the way back to the conversation with Jabari. Who are these people? I showed you who they were, and I'm going to go back to show you who they were. They founded the what? The Free African Society. And the leaders of the what? Black Church Movement. Free African Lodge 459 of Prince Hall Freemason formed a part of the funeral procession of President George Washington.
These niggas are Freemasons, bro. These niggas are straight up Freemasons. Straight up Freemasons. That shit's sad.
Did that. Let's show you. I'm going to show you how they did it. Then they had the nerve. See the whole. All right. Let me give you the context in which I'm speaking. All right. So you can see clearly. I just showed you, right, to start off with, Lewis and Clark, right? Showed you Lewis and Clark because I wanted you to see that Negroes were used as interpreters in Indian lands. What languages could a Negro interpret? That's the first question you should ask. Why is he taking them to interpret? Then I showed you that our people, right, were being taken from the West, starting way back with Columbus in the thousands, back to Spain, Portugal, all these areas. And we can go further. We can go into Africa. And that's That's significant. All right, that is significant. It's super significant. All right, so we showed you that. Then we go and we show you that Egypt was peopled from the northwest by a people who we call the Fula. All right, who we're saying these various types of Fula and Berbers are directly connected to Native American tribes linguistically. We gave you the book, Jules Cabot, The Berbers in America. It's in French, all right? You don't have a translation for that. I've never seen one. So you have to have somebody who speaks French to break that down to you. Dr. Ivan Van Sertima was the first person I saw to source that particular book. That's how I found out about it when he wrote about it, and they came before Columbus. Okay, so now, connection is made, but what type of connection? By the time I get to Masonry, I'm dealing with people who are trying to suppress the Aboriginal history and the last aspect in West Africa, Aboriginal history in West Africa, of a Renaissance. And that happened under the Moorish Empire. And so when you look at Columbus's journals, when you look at the Masons, what do they attack? What did John Henrik Clarke attack? As profound a historian as he was, they always try to attack West African, North African, East African, even Arabian Islam. They do that. They do that hard. They whitewash the history. They do that hard. That is a Masonic tactic. That's what I'm trying to get to. Masons know that they got their whole Renaissance from indigenous African Moors, indigenous African Muslims. But in the Anderson's Constitution, which I'm about to
Hey man, shout out to all the American Aborigines, all the American Indians. Hey, for those that just coming in here, man, we still need 32 more people to send in a $3 cash out donation to reach the goal. Shout out to everybody in the building. Moderators, help out in the chat. Let them know what it's for. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Let's get it going.
show you. This is what they say. So I'm trying to show you the war.
Right quick. Pause. Yeah, we got 270 in here, man. Let's get a few people to support, man. All we need is 32, man. We can knock that out right now. All we need is 32 of the brothers and sisters.
That is play. So look, this is Anderson's based on the Constitution. All right. As the Asiatic and African nations fell under the same calamity by the conquest of the Mohammedans, whose grand design is only to convert the world by fire and sword instead of cultivating the arts and sciences. Are you kidding me? This is in the Masonic Constitution. The Renaissance that was brought back to Africa. I showed you through the prime meridian science that it was the Moors, the Muslims, who brought back the prime meridian science. This is before the Arabs came in and Arabized it. These are Aboriginals on the African continent who did that. I wrote a 437-page dissertation on this information. And so what I'm saying is, how can Masons, who are the products of Renaissance Europe, right, tell anybody that the people who created the Renaissance, who inspired the Renaissance, are not about cultivating the arts and sciences? Everybody knows the area in Spain that we're talking about was under the control of indigenous Africans for over 700 years, who cultivated arts and sciences. So what would make Masons want to suppress this? And why do Afrocentrics do the same thing that the Masons do? These are questions. How can you be Afrocentric and Greek culturally? Now we're talking about cultural phenomena. All right? You can't. That's like me saying I want to be Powhatan and Iroquois. Not going to be that way. Why? Iroquois or Mingwe are Eurasians. The Powhatan are Aboriginals of North America. If you don't know the history, you might confuse the two. I don't go to powwows and do Mingwe ceremonies. Powwow literally comes from us. It's power. which is the solstice and the equinox celebrations. You follow me? So this is about learning. This is about education. This is about a well-rounded education. So it's like the outside of a puzzle. If you don't have the outside, you don't know how to fill in the pieces. And so what I'm telling you is, as we move forward and we do well with the Aboriginal paradigm in medicine and natural sciences and economics, your greatest detractors will be people who look like you, who may, some of whom may be allied with the enemy, may be sleeping with the enemy. This is why if you go, well, I won't even say that. I'll just leave that as it is. My point is, check it out. Oh yeah, this is it right here. Look at what they say. Behavior in the presence of strangers, not Masons. It says, well, excuse me, diversion and distraction. Look at this now. Diversion and distraction. Pay attention to people when they debate you, because they're using Masonic tactics. Whenever you see folk skillfully divert conversations from its subject, especially conversations pertaining to our liberation and education and progress as a group, you may be dealing with a skilled Mason following his Masonic constitution. The charges of a Freemason, section 4, part 4. Behavior in the presence of strangers, not Masons. You shall be cautious in your words and carriage, that the most penetrating stranger shall not be able to discover or find out what is not proper to be intimated. And sometimes you shall divert a discourse and manage it prudently for the honor of the worshipful fraternity. Divert the discourse. Don't focus on what we say and what we prove. Act like we didn't prove anything. Act like we're not bringing any level of sanity. Say that the person can't read. Do all of that to divert the discourse. All right? That's your source, page 54. Keep going. Wait, we're not finished. All right, let's see. I wanted to show this whole concept of the leprosy agenda, but can't find where Albert Pike was doing this. I wanted to find it. All right. Can't find it. There we go. This is what they do. This is the sign of leprosy. George Washington. Look at Albert Pike says. Albert Pike on Negro Masons. This is the dude who wrote their degrees. Look at what he had to say. He wrote beyond the third degree. All right. He said, I am not inclined to meddle in the matter. I took my obligations to white men, not Negroes. When I have to accept Negroes as brothers or leave Masonry, I shall leave it. I am interested to keep the ancient and accepted rite uncontaminated in our country, at least by the leprosy of Negro associations. That's deep, bro. You had a white man calling black men. All right, I can't even keep going doing this, bro. Can't keep doing it. All right, so y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. So when they say Muslims didn't contribute anything to art, and all of that. Look, the Islamic book, a contribution to its art and history from the 7th to the 18th century. How much is this book? How much is it? $2,500. All right, so I'm not going to, belabor that point. This is just a historical point, and so, you can make that point, and we can keep it moving. All right. Let me close on a few points, and then we can get out of here. I will take questions, though. I will take questions. All right, identity theft is a crime. All right. This is Chichen Itza, again, North America. Section we know as Mexico. All right, you see the afro. He dyed it. They used dye on the body for the paint. Use dye in the middle of their faces. You see it? You see the dye? These are the Aboriginals with the feathers. All right, you see? Representing Kukulkan. Look at the hair. The Denisovan and the Neanderthal and Denisovan hair. Look at them. Look at them. Look at their hair. You got to dye, but look at it. It's an afro. Phenotype equals genotype in biochemistry. We know who you are. All right. This is the hair of the people who we generally call Mexican, whatever. This is the hair of people we call Afro-Mexican, but they're actually Aboriginal inhabitants. And we can go all day with this science to prove our points. All right. But we got to be careful, because we do have things that divide us, and they're not going to come up off of those things, brothers and sisters. You can forget it. They ain't trying to hear what y'all got to say. Aboriginals ain't got nothing to say to them. All right. All right. So let's take some questions. Is every Mason an agent, Brother Ali? That's not what I said. I didn't say every Mason is an agent. I said they have something in their protocols that allows for them to be a brotherhood. So they have a value system. And if that value system was founded by white males, it's going to be against you. Ha! Somebody said North Africa is Caucasian. All right. So this is why you need education. I gave a pre-Sahara rendition, pre-Sahara epigraphy, when the Sahara was grassland. There were no sub-Saharan Africans at the time. There were none, because there was no desert. You see how people don't listen in class? But then they come on and they don't even ask the question. They just made a silly statement. All right. Somebody said, why didn't the messenger teach what you teach? The messenger taught you this, but now this is 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. You got 1st grade. And he did teach what I taught. The first person to call us Aboriginals was the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Why don't we know that? Where do you think the 25,000 year calendar came from? Go find the civilization that has a 25,000 year calendar. It's not in Arabia. Is the 25,000 year calendar Arabia? No. Where is it? It's right here in Mexico. The messenger sent a part of his family to Mexico. All right, so y'all got to grow up. Just because somebody, and then if we bring something new, we're supposed to bring something new. He told us to do that. The Africans are Aboriginals. The ones who are melanin dominant people. Muhammad converted Arabs to Moors. I don't know what that means. All right, y'all be wilding in this chat. Is the white related to the rhesus, or is it a non-fact? Meaning related to the rhesus monkey? No, they're related to chimpanzees and Neanderthals. I am a brother from Oakland, but also a third-generation Cherokee on the doll. Should I register with the tribe? That's up to you. That's up to you. Hit them upside the head again. Right, the earth is our homeland. Yeah, in fact, African, there's no, first of all, these terms are terms that they're misnomers. They're Aboriginals, and they have clans, then they have a nationality. Because, listen, they're way ahead of you. They're way ahead of you. No, Muhammad did not start in Mecca. The word Muhammad is not from that area. He did not start in Mecca. And Mecca is not mentioned in the Quran. I had a whole discussion with Garfield on that. And then later somebody tried to say, oh yeah, in Surah 48, we have Makata. Stop playing with me. We know where that term comes from. I showed you the glyphs in Jordan where that term comes from. And Mecca is not Mecca. Our oldest lineal tribe is the Shi, XI, when you transliterate it in the Western Hemisphere. Somebody said, is Islam indigenous to America? The only Islam that's indigenous to America is Prophet Noble Drew Ali's teaching and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Besides that, everything else comes from the East. All right. We talked about Chief Tuscaloosa last week. What started your journey towards discovering your Aboriginal roots? Once I got the Supreme Wisdom lessons and I got the question, who is the original man? That was the initiation of my search. I wanted to know why was that conversation had like that in the 1930s and why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us that material. And so that started my search. Tuscaloosa's tribe, okay, let me break something down to you because I can see this is ignorance, all right? His tribe was listed as Ali Bamu, where you get the word Alabama from. That's what DeSoto and others listed his tribe as. When you look at the early maps, that's what they had it as, Ali Bamu, Tuscaloosa's tribe. But there's all kinds of tribes, Catawba, all right? Yamasee. You could go, it's hundreds of them. Ask yourself a question. Where are they now? Where are all these tribes? Just we can use South Carolina and Georgia for one instance. Where are all these tribes? They got colonized. They broke the tribes up. All of a sudden, you go from tribes to Negroes who were slaves. That shows you the Negroes were in the tribes. That's simple. All these tribes did not disappear. Nobody died. You know, I've heard the conversation, oh, they brought old world diseases to the new world, and that's what killed off the population. And I'm saying to myself, all right, the level of ignorance is so high. Didn't know old world diseases kill off anybody. First of all, it shows you know nothing about the humoral immune system of original people. Nothing. And so I'm gonna leave you in your ignorance on that one. Didn't know Aboriginals all get killed off. They all got their names changed and they got enslaved. If you want to be a part of ARNA, go to governmentreparations.org and watch our introductory video. Moors is an Eastern term. It is not a term for Aboriginals here. The Aboriginals here did not call themselves Moors. Yes, melanin is your immune system. Please answer my question. How do you verifiably prove divine revelation from an angel to mankind? If you cannot do this, then why accept religious dogma? Whoever you asked that question, you didn't watch the first part of this lecture. Go back and watch it. And you're using terms that are spooky. Angels are people. Angels are people. Angels are human beings. If you want to speak from an Islamic sense, angels are human beings. There's no spooky angels, woo. In Revelation, the various terms that you would use for that which is revealed, all right, depending on which one you're using, all right. I'll give it to you like this. In the Quran, Muhammad is accused by his enemies of having stories of the ancients. Stories of the ancients. These are nothing but tales and stories from the ancients. But just ask yourself a question. If Muhammad was an Arab, which he was not, the Arabs are not an ancient people. And so whose stories are those? You have to go to the Aboriginals in that area to find out whose stories those are. All right. And they tell you that angels are men, and then that you confusing yourself, basically. Angels are men. Rijal, angels are men. They're men. Period.
Oh, look at that little angel. You ain't never heard that before?
Allah is not mother. I don't know what that means. There must be some Great Seal people in here. All right.
Hey, facts, yo. That's a fact, bro. The word Lord means me. It means a person, not a spirit keeper.
He is a prophet, to his constituents that started a religious group. When he said nationality, he did not mean it in the sense that we use it. He was basically saying you are a citizen of the USA if you do not call yourself Negro, Black, and Colored. And you come back into the constitutional fold of government, and then you practice your religious ideology, which is your salvation. And he started a religious entity. We're not dealing with that. Prophet Muhammad was not Turkish. He was not a white Arab Muslim. Would y'all like me to blast some of these Arabs in here real quick? I wouldn't mind doing that for you real quick. Let me go ahead. We always get them in here, and they always come in trying to teach us about African history or Aboriginal aspects of African history. And what we're saying is we don't just study the Aboriginal history in the Americas, we study it everywhere. So let me show you. If here's $1,000 bet. My bet to you is I can prove that Muhammad was not an Arab. My request from you is to, after you get it proven to you, you never repeat it again. Don't repeat that bullshit again. Don't repeat it. I'm about to prove it to you right now. Just because. All right. Y'all know nothing about Muhammad.
Shout out to the family, man. Shout out to the family. Shout out to the family. Shout out to the family. Shout out to everybody that's off in this thing. Hey, man, we got people gotta wake up, man. I always want to say, man, we still need 30 more people to support. Send it in, man. Send it in. We need 30 more people to send it in. To reach the donation goal. 30 more people send in $3. Or we can have 15 people send in $6. Let's reach the goal. What's going on, Chief? Supreme Chief? What up, though?
Copper Grizzly. What's happening, brother? How you feeling, man? I see you cooking early today.
Yeah, man. We got some. I got a super heavyweight jam later on today at 6 o'clock. I haven't even put up the reminder, and I will be speaking on the super heavyweight jam later on. I will be
so super heavyweight jam right now.
Oh, this is a heavyweight jam right here. This is a
heavyweight jam right now.
This is what I call super. This is I ain't did Awaken Back in so long, so I want to come back to Awaken Back extra strong with one. You see what I'm saying? I haven't did Awaken Back in a while, so you know what I mean. Shout out to everybody that's tuning into the Awaken Back show. Make sure y'all support the channel. Drop a fire emoji in the chat if y'all enjoying the live stream. Like I said, we still need 30 more people to send in those $3 donations.
Fire bear emojis up in there, man. You already know, man. Press go if you truly descend from the greatest human beings in world history, and put a number 1 beside it, man. Hey, man, y'all already know, man. The Aboriginal community cannot be stopped. But I want to say shout out to Dr. Ali Muhammad. I'm gonna call him Doctor, and I see that people in the chat room are saying, "Oh, yes, he's fake. He didn't get a real degree from Temple, this and that and the third." Y'all didn't have none of that energy for Dr. John Henry Clark, or a lot of these so-called doctors that never even got a degree, like Dr. Ben, don't even have bachelor degrees. So please have several goddamn seats. Address what the man is saying. Now, YK, and not a coincidence, you guys are doing the CIA work that he is talking about as we speak. You're not even addressing the information. Effort. You niggas is only here to do the work of these people. I think you niggas should be banned. All of y'all. These niggas should be canceled. Y'all not bringing anything to this table. You're not even good punching bags no more at this point. You keep coming with the same dumbass shit, and we keep kicking y'all ass down the street, and y'all keep coming back with the same shit. I think it's retarded. Babu bones with lines in it. Then we'll show you some shit, Macedon bone with lines in it. And we ain't told y'all, oh, well, that's those are counting periods and all this other type of shit. Nah, Money Grip. We just said that's 130,000 years, according to them. And I asked a simple question: where do you guys validate your stuff? Well, we know that these people have an agenda that is funded by the CIA. Y'all gonna have to address that every time. If you're not addressing that, you should not be on these panels. Period. Address that. Don't address nothing else. Address that. Stop coming over here talking about what Ali Muhammad said. Who's cooking, by the way? Now, AP, I'm glad you're playing this, because he's saying some good shit, but it's levels to this natural Aboriginal science. AP, I like that, by the way. You had a shook with that title yesterday, Mike. Now, what's natural? I don't understand. I don't understand what natural is. I don't even know what science is. well, I knew that, man. You probably somewhere asleep. That brother been going in last few days. I'll say peace to the guys, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Tap in, man. You guys suck. I just want to let y'all know that.
Hey, Chief, I'm gonna continue this video out for a second, then you
Let's get it.
First of all, the name Hamed, all right, is Gutoro, is East African. All right, Hamed. All right. The H is Gutoro. Let me show you. The H is Gutoro. And what name do we have? That's Kemet. Kemet. All right. Kemet means the soil, the land. That's what they named this two rich, fertile sides of the Nile, Kemet. All right. Gutoro. And so when we have that name, we have it in Ge'ez, we have it in Nabatean, we have it in we have it in Melanated, that name. And so when you know that the Islamic Genesis was in the Thebaid in Egypt, not in Arabia, then you will recognize why they went and set the prime meridian back right, where they got all these texts from, and why they wrote on papyri. The first Qurans were written on papyri, right? And so let's go to it so I can kill this argument again. All right. The Arabs were the enemies of the constituent bodies of people who made up the original Islamic community. Enemies. I repeat, enemies. Not friends, enemies. All right, let me put that down. No, don't do that. All right, so let me help you with this real quick. And then you can stop saying this and then y'all can go ahead. Y'all can go ahead. All right, here we go. Surah 9, verse 97 through 99. Al-Arab. When most people translate this word right here, all right, this is it right here. Alif, all right, lam, alif, ain, ra, alif, ba. This word right here is al-Arab. All right. Al-Arab, ashadu, kufarun. All right. The Arabs are the strongest in disbelief and hypocrisy and most disposed to not truly be aware of the laws of what Allah has revealed to his Rasul. All right? His Rasul is right here. Ra. All right? Rasul. Right? Rasulihi. All right? There you go right here. And so his messenger is Muhammad. Muhammad was an enemy to these Arabs. Period. He was not an Arab. All right. Do I need to say anything else? And what was the name of the groups that he was around? All right. Let's go do it. Let's go through it. I don't even know if I can make this smaller. Let's make it smaller so I can see this. And those around you are the hypocrite Arabs. Those around you are the hypocrite Arabs. All right. Oops, my bad. All right. There you go right here. Arabs. Munafiqun. Munafiqun. All right, you're hypocrites. So don't tell me nothing about no Arabs. All right, the early Umayyad. All right, talked about these Arabs, and what did it say? This concerns the Rijaz of the Arabs. By Allah, if I find anyone who will read it, I will kill him and even rub his misinterpreted writings, his mushaf, with the side of pork. All right, so y'all don't even know who Muhammad was. You have no idea about the history of Islam whatsoever. All of your writings are for Abbasids who were interlopers who came in and tried to destroy the African history and the Aboriginal history of Islam. Cut it out. All right. So whoever that Arab was in the group, please don't come try to teach us anything about history. You don't know. All right. All right. So cut that out, bro. All right. Somebody asked, why is most ancient languages written from right to left? All right. Because they deal with the way that we thought, from right hemispheric brain activity to the left hemisphere. Creativity to reason. All right. There's no language called Arabic. Please stop lying. The term Arabian and Mubin deal with the vocalization and the clarity of the writing, the comprehension. It has nothing to do with people. A language being named after a group of people named called Arabs. There is no Arabic. Yo, I'm not saying, I don't know how y'all turned this into an Islamic conversation, because I didn't come here to talk about Islam, all right, at all. But for the sake of history, yes, a man gave revelation to another man. How are you going to get revelation? Spooky, sit down and twiddle your fingers? Like, a man came and gave another man teachings. That's the only way you can learn something, is from a man or a woman, or watching nature and meditating, or animals, or, how are you going to learn? I never said the Aboriginal people here practice Islam. People ask me questions about Islam. And by the way, most of you don't know what the Aboriginal people here practice at all. So stop acting like you know what they practice. You don't know. If you knew what Aboriginal peoples here from the master cultures practice, we would see you. It's too powerful.
That's what Aboriginal science.
So don't act like you know what it was. And you will be able to do things that would be evident that you know what they practice. Don't act like you know. And I'm not trying to be, prideful or anything, but a lot of times people come and they make, this is see, I'm not saying this to put anybody down. I'm saying you are always going to be talking to somebody. You're going to be talking to your husband. You're going to be talking to your wife. You're going to be talking to your children. Children going to be talking to parents. They're going to be talking to grandparents. There's an art and a science to communication. Don't act like you know something that you don't know. It is a sign of the most insecure type of psychology. There's a million things that I don't know. My knowledge is a drop of water in an ocean. But my drop, I know my drop. I'm not going to front and act like I know something that I don't know. When I know something, I'll share it with certainty. When I don't know something, I'm not going to act like I know something. Oh, our ancestors didn't practice Islam. But what did they practice? If I started naming out divination terms to you, would you know? Bolok, Oshlahun, Lahun, Bolon, Ho, Washak. All right? Osh. Like if I start things that you should know what they mean. You should know how they impart on psychology. You should know the power in them. You should know the day. You should know it from the cap. Don't act like you know and you don't know. Somebody said, no one knows what spiritual systems we practice in North America. Great. That's pure ignorance. The NOI science taught from Master Farah Muhammad to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad from mouth to ear is the beginning phases of you beginning to understand Aboriginal science. That's why a big part of it was calendars. Because without understanding astronomy, you cannot understand cultural, spiritual practices. It's going to be fake. We have 1,000 years of fake gods, fake ancestors, misinterpretations, and people just believing in things. And Europeans were not the first to teach mystery gods. They weren't the first. Our people took advantage of their own people in teaching some of these systems. And it's only through you learning Aboriginal science that you're going to actually get out of that. The messenger, the first person to call us Aboriginals, started that particular process. There is something new under the sun. It's called another sun. Yeah. You know what? It's interesting. I don't come on YouTube a whole lot.
They've been calling us Aborigines since the 1500s, but I digress.
YouTube is really reflective of the psychosis of people in our communities. It's alarming. It is alarming. I don't care what they attack. I'm not interested in I don't have to protect Master Farah Muhammad. His activity protects itself, and the people who adhere to what he put out protects it. It's all kind of weirdos on social media, and they just talk about anybody any kind of crazy way in any way that they want to. Nothing we can do about that. If you want to know about the second sun, get my book Star Prophecy, and then use the coordinates to go onto a telescope. You can go to a planetarium in your local area and put it on infrared, and you can see that second sun. You can see it. All of the major astronomers know about it. I send them my books. The news channels know about it. The government has been known about it. NASA knows about it. JPL knows about it. They all know about it. And our ancestors here, the Shi, wrote about it. They wrote about it. They wrote about his manifestation. When it would reappear. That's what the whole 2012 thing was about. It happened and people are laughing at 2012. What do you want to get to about the bottom of this more Negro question? What do you want to get to the bottom? Let me know. Maybe I can help you. Somebody said, why did we let a foreigner teach us? Let's ask a better question. If a foreigner comes and tells you that you are the original people of the planet, you're the original man and you're the original woman, after you have been broken away from that knowledge. After that, you've broken completely away. You enslaved, you go through genocide, you go through lynchings, you go through reconstruction, and some mysterious person comes to you and say, you're not any of these things these people say. You're the original people. And over time now, almost 100 years ago that was, all right, 90, 80 years or whatever, you come to find out that it's true. Why would you have malice towards someone who offered you help? This
Facts.
is a sign of a very sick person. If you were thirsty and you had nothing to eat or drink, and you don't like, I don't know, who you don't like. It could be a Chinese man. And that Chinese man came to you and said, I have food for you. Here, eat and drink. Are you now going to say, I don't like Asians, so I'm not going to take this water even though I'm starving in this desert? See, this is how stupid we have become. How silly we have become as a people. Even the people who try to help us, we look at them and snuff our nose up. That is the arrogance from your enemy that you have been given. Because that is exactly how they think. As a matter of fact, they don't even think like that no more. All right. So y'all gotta, I mean, you don't have to do anything. You can do whatever you want to do. Do DNA tests results show a timeline for admixtures from oldest to newest? If so, how do you read it? No, they do not. If you want to get a chronology of admixture, most likely, well, I mean, you can do that. Okay, admixture. Let's go there first. What is admixture? Because we use these terms and sometimes I don't think we know what they mean. All right. Admixture means a population. Let me give you what they say admixture is and then give you what you should be learning about it. Admixture, from their standpoint, is a mixture of populations of people that are not in the same vicinity, who some kind of way have some type of migration point where they meet, and then those genes that have not been crossing cross. So an admixture point would be Homo sapien sapien with Homo sapien neanderthalis. That would be considered admixture, right? Okay, so in our system, admixture is someone who has a healthy biochemistry and genetics mixing with someone who has malignant chromatin and chromosomes and DNA and genes. Malignant mutation. All right. And so now the party that had the healthy biochemistry and genes who admixed with the malignant mutant genetics, they now produce a weaker offspring. That's simple. So now, can you chart when that happened? Yes, you can chart when that happened. It depends on what you're using to chart it. There's a lot of factors that come into determining when those things happen. Look at how silly our people are. Somebody just said we need to get away from religious ideology. Okay, so I'll give you an example, and this is no slight on these brothers. Sanetta's not religious, Seti's not religious, Pharaoh's not religious. None of those people are religious. But those three absolutely do not get along. So is religion dividing Seti, Sanetta, and Pharaoh? Ankh don't get along with Ankh's Amun Ra squad. Don't get along with Ishmael Bey's Amun Ra squad. That's Moorish. Is religion dividing them? Team Osiris.
Talk that shit.
With I think Kansu and now I get all these names, brother. Anyway, Team Osiris don't get along with Amun Ra squad. Neither one of them are religious. Is religion dividing them? See, we don't even think before we talk. Is Donald Trump divided against Michael Cohen? No, because they're all under the same constitution. And when they have a difference, they use courts, arbitration, or whatever. And you can watch whatever you want to watch on CNN. But when it's time to go to war, they're all ranking up because they have something that's a common value system. The problem with black men, Aboriginal men, Indigenous men, Pan-African men, whoever you are, y'all don't want a value system because y'all don't want to be held to no goddamn standard. And any man that don't want to be held to a standard cannot be trusted. Any man who cannot be, they're nothing. What are you? I'm nothing. I'm nothing. I'm democratic. Can't trust that kind of nigga. Can't trust him. All right. They have Neanderthal ancestors or Denisovan ancestors. Even if you disagree with Mr. Farrakhan, calling him a Mason is inaccurate unless you can show he's a Mason. And I'm not talking about these little pictures that Afrocentrics be making up, saying he throwing up signs. Bro, y'all crazy. This is why I don't come on YouTube. Hey, it's all good. Let him talk. I don't have no problem with it. It doesn't distract me. I'm doing Q&A right now. All right. Dan Calloway stated that genealogy DNA tests are conjectures and should be treated as a form of entertainment. They are comparing recent living people to recent living people. Not in all cases. In some cases, they're comparing archaeogenetics to older archaeogenetics. So it might be some bones in Africa they're comparing to bones in Eurasia. Or bones in Eurasia to modern people. Or bones in Africa to modern people. Or bones in, so there are variations. The fact of whether you can trust it or not is the issue. And so, how can someone heal sciatica? This is not a health lecture, but it depends on what's causing it. It could be obesity. It could be a number of factors. It could be deterioration of myelin sheaths because of improper lipids. All right, adipose tissue, fat, what you call fat. All right, it could be a number of things that's causing that sciatica. I could definitely say you probably have a really, really poor diet and you need a consultation. You know what's sad about YouTube? There's a lot of information out there, but there's so much misinformation, especially in the Black community. And when I see people repeating it, it really, really shows me the level of intelligence that has left our communities. I mean, left. Did somebody just ask me the origins of last names, European last names? Y'all better stop playing with me. They come from Europeans. Even though we had some so-called black Europeans who came here. I'm not distracted. I'm just doing Q&A. I don't have nothing else to say. I already taught everything I need to teach tonight. All right. Yo. All right. So when it comes to TSA, we can travel with our tribal IDs inside domestically on airplanes, but when we leave the country, we have to use passports. All right. And when we fill out the DS-10 form, the DS-72 form for passports, there's a way that we fill them out that is specific for us. And that's pretty much it. ARNA doesn't have a military team that can extract you from, Kenya or some other place. All right. We don't have an embassy in Kenya. So you would still use your passport.
We are Americans, first off. Stop it.
But what we can do is we can assure you that you don't have to take large numbers of vaccinations when you're going to foreign countries. You can use the vaccination exemptions and communicate to the embassy before you leave. And once you get that authenticated, you can get past with no problem. If you want best foods for athlete to gain muscle, get my book, Indigenous Food Science, off of Aboriginal Medical Association.com. No, joining our nation will not affect your prior contracts where you owe money, like Social Security or something of that nature. If you owe money because you invested in Social Security, you can still get it. It does not stop you from getting that. Yeah, y'all want me to kick some people out? I don't have a problem kicking some people out. Let's do that. Bye. Yep. Bye. I just kicked some people out. Who else want to get kicked out? That's my first time actually doing that. That's kind of fun. Ha! He says I created a tribe. Ha! How did I do that? We created a plebiscite. We didn't create the tribe. You can't create a new people. We are all descended from some people. Can't create a new people. But if you want to form a plebiscite, I have no problem teaching you. We have a whole training module on how to create a plebiscite, and we can do that for your community. Who is running from the motherland? Nobody's running from the motherland. I just told you, we are Aboriginals and Africans are Aboriginals. I just don't agree with the out of Africa theory. It's fake. It's erroneous. There was a bottleneck in Africa, but there was no out of Africa. Like the latest evolutionary biologists have already debunked the out of Africa theory. Y'all want me to show y'all? How many times I gotta do this? All right. Y'all are y'all late. Y'all late in the game. All right, so let me help y'all out since y'all late in the game. Y'all late in the gang. Y'all late in the game and the gang. All right, let's debunk this out of Africa theory again. All right, they started debunking the out of Africa theory back in 2010, 11, 12. All the reports started coming out. I don't agree with any of these theories because I know where human beings come from, and they didn't come from. They didn't come from where these people are saying they came from. All right, so let's debunk this real quick. All you believers, all you non-believers, maybe you'll become believers. Let's go down to 200%. All right, so look. This is the new theory right here. All right. A simplified view of Homo sapiens sapien migrations. They're saying that they have an out of Asia hypothesis. All right. And you see, these are the branches that went into Africa. These are the branches that went into Europe. These are the branches that went into high parts of Asia. These are the branches that went into Australia and Oceania. The shaded area signifies an undefined Asian, Eurasian area from which Homo sapiens sapien dispersed. Why are they doing this now? Because they knew that in their old model, Neanderthals could not have developed in Africa. It's impossible. So they had to try to figure out a way to make this work, so they put it in Asia. And in doing so, now they can say, sure, a hairy, pale hominin became the progenitor of all other peoples, which means, this pale, hairy hominin is the original man. And then by going into Africa, people went through mutations. That's what they're trying to say. All right, they couldn't keep it, and they had no plan on keeping it. Y'all were just too silly. Y'all didn't recognize what they were doing. The red track shows the potential routes of the Khoisan, Mobutu, and Yoruba outside of the Homo sapien Neanderthalis range. So they're saying these people don't have Neanderthal genes because they're out of the range. All right. All right. Khoisan and Mbuti may have diverged before their migration into Africa. The arrow-headed lines between Mbuti and Yoruba mark potential genetic exchange right here in Arabia. All right. The green track represents the common Asian origin of indigenous Australians, Papuans, New Guineans, and the Andames right here. The track also, let's see, the track marks also Homo sapien Neanderthalis admixture. All right. The blue track marks Homo sapien Neanderthalis input in European and Asian populations. Here. Altai shows the location of the genetic contribution. So you have this one, and then you have another one that always show. But when you go back up now, all these old routes that they used to have, this is an old one right here. This now is in reverse now. These patterns are conflicting. They change, they've been changing this every year. So now these groups now are coming from Asia into this area. Now the problem with this is they're not explaining a lot, and they're wrong, but they're not explaining what will cause mass migrations. And until you get into cataclysm science and other things, none of this will make sense. All right? None of it will make sense. This is the study that the Russians published. All right, this is the study that they published, showing that the A groups and the B groups are distinct and that they don't come from inside of Africa, and the F through the rest of the groups, all right, where they originated from, which haplogroups gave birth to them, etc. So I have this whole published study right here, but there's several different studies that show that are the latest based on genomic information that they use to debunk the out of Africa theory. So give it up. Even with the old out of Africa theory, they were saying that the African melanin dominant skin was a mutation from cancer, which is anatomically and biologically impossible, son. Like, I don't even know why y'all listening to these people at this point. Y'all can listen to them though. Y'all have the right to do what y'all want to do. And y'all want to know where human beings come from? Y'all gonna have to listen to us, because the Aboriginals already told you. He been kicked out. I go by indigenous records because they're more accurate. In fact, the indigenous records talk about these hominids only a few thousand years ago, so they're not old. So this whole concept of Neanderthals and Denisovans, it was talked about in indigenous records. So my presumption is that indigenous records are more accurate when it comes to the origins of human beings. Oh, I didn't put them out. Let me put them out permanently. The precession of the equinox, it starts with the spring equinox, the vernal equinox, which is measured via the celestial meridian, the celestial prime meridian, which occurs around mid-March 20th or 21st. And I think it's about 12 degrees in the constellation Pisces. But it's the first polarity, the commencement of the 30-degree polarity. Come on, Cam. People out. Put them out. All right. We have elements that are soil in us, but we don't come from soil. All right. The reason why ancient scriptures talk about human beings coming from soil is because the soil quality determines the quality of the plants. And so that's not a past event, that's a recurring issue, that the quality and state of the soil will determine the quality and state of the physical makeup of the people. That is a present perfect tense reality. That's what it means by making humans from soil. That is an agricultural statement. That has nothing to do with spooky past statements. We didn't come from the ground.
Not
We are
true.
maintained by the ground. My thoughts on the mystic arts. Which ones? What gives you the strength to keep fighting? Probably because I'm not fighting. It is a violation of human rights for a government to make it illegal to bear arms. The government has not made it illegal to bear arms. You can open carry. It's when you want to conceal carry, they make you get a permit. All right. You build your will by practice. That's it. That's all I can say. You build your will by practice. If I incorporate my business as an honor corp, will I still have to pay U.S. taxes? Not if you don't want to. Unless you are electing to pay taxes, you won't be or have a business master file that requires you to. You speak blasphemy, Ali, and practice divination. So what does that mean? Divination is practiced in the Quran. Muhammad practiced divination. Every prophet of Allah practiced divination. You don't know what divination is. You one of those, oh, that's Aboriginal nature worshiping devil people, man. Listen, please keep these Arabs out of my chat. I'm just going to delete them. Yes, there are Aboriginals who are willing to work with us. And they're doing it. We're literally rewriting the Constitution for a group of people in the Congo to protect their lands. I've been working on that for 3 years. Reggie said Prophet Muhammad is mixed with Neanderthal. What does he mean? I guess he's trying to say if he's from Arabia, that the particular people in that particular area had Neanderthal admixture. But that's because Reggie don't know nothing about Prophet Muhammad. All my consultation fees are at the website. If it's health, go to Aboriginal Medical Association. My bad. I have learned not to trust certain people's research. That's it. So all right. It depends on if you have the legal awareness to create an Aboriginal republic. That's what we offer people. No, you don't need to have the Social Security removed in order to stop being taxed. Is there a volume 1 for the lost pages? Which lost pages? Lost pages of Islam? No. We took the information from volume 1 and included it in volume 2. Talk about protein. What about protein? Oh, yeah. Well, if you start in a new 25,000 year cycle, you start in the constellation Virgo.
Hey man, we about to get ready to open the panel up probably a little bit, man. So hit that like button, thumb up the video. We got Chief Supreme Holiday on here, and I got a big announcement we're gonna talk about for the later on show today at 6 o'clock. Indigenous one, Aboriginal Power featuring. We'll talk about that in a second.
That.
All right. I don't know who Randall Carson is. I never heard of Randall Carson and his perception on cataclysms. Never heard of him. I don't follow Chief Nanya Shabu L at all. No, what we see on the reservations is not our culture. If you went through us to start a music production company and it's an LLC, you can email me at here. If something is wrong, then we can fix it. LLCs usually need a transmittal form done, and it needs to be communicated to the Secretary of State because it's an entity that sometimes requires insurances and other things. So maybe you're missing that or something. But you can email me there, where I just put the email out, and we'll help you fix that. Out of Africa is not true for the tribe of Shabazz. Tribe of Shabazz did not originate in Africa. According to the messenger, he said that they went into Africa approximately 50,000 years ago. That's what he said. He also said that a group of people from the area of Asia that we now call India were sentenced here 16,000 years ago. And there were no red people then, so who were they? The red man is a product of mixing within a 6,000 year period. So there's a lot of things you just have to really, really, really look at the teachings from a mature perspective, because they were given in baby language for people who knew nothing. And so now you have to review them when you mature in a different light. And a lot of us are uncomfortable at doing those particular things. And so we're going to stay wherever we are. And that's fine too if they're happy. Kashada She, I remember doing your EIN myself. So I'm not sure why you didn't receive it. But if you email me at amarushiali@gmail.com, we'll make sure that we fix that. I've already done videos on farming, but I'm using the crowdfunding to attempt to purchase the land. And once I do that, I'm going to be teaching youth groups how to farm. And anybody who takes the level 3 course can learn also. We have a level 3 course where we teach that. Being a fruitarian in this part of the planet is not practical. It makes no sense. You're not in the proper weather to be a fruitarian. And because of the present state of the earth, all right, fruit should be a lot of your diet. You can eat a lot of fruits, but you need other things. All right, you need vegetation, you need soups, you need certain water-soluble starches like fonio and other things so that you won't atrophy. Our earth has changed a lot. We have more nitric oxide, NO1, NO2 in the atmosphere, some from environmental toxicity, some from nitrogen fixators, and others. So we have to curb our diet to our current circumstances. And in the future, the planet will be different. It'll be warmer all over the planet. And there'll be a different way to deal with those particular things. First of all, I would address this very direct. No, but I was attacked by this person online. They're going by the name Chief Nanya Shabu El. Him and his wife just came on Facebook, like on a thread, just attacking me. I don't know them. So, when somebody start acting crazy, I just leave them alone. So it's not that I'm avoiding talking about him. I don't know him. The only thing I know is he said that he put a lien on the White House and he owns the White House now. So when you start talking like that, I think that you're absolutely insane. And so I'm not going to give you any more of my attention. So I'm not personally avoiding Chief Nanya Shabu El. I think from the statements that I have heard that he needs to be put in a psych ward. And I'm pretty sure y'all gonna send this back to him, so that's fine. We have an indigenous psych ward. Gonna sit you right down in the living room and go through all your problems in life and try to figure out what you mean by you put a lien on the White House. No, excuse me. That's not the fact that you put a lien on the White House. So maybe you want to do that, okay? It's the fact that you are saying you are trying to enforce the lien for some particular purpose. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but the way that I saw and witnessed the documents and mixing with sovereign citizen and UCC, like it's like a smorgasbord of crazy Moorish, indigenous, sovereign citizen mashup.
Listen, man, I'm about to get out of here, man. I got some shit I got to do. Chief Holiday about to go live over there, man. You got an open smoke section. We about to make our way over there. Where DJ Cuddy at, man? Tell him go ahead and lock that shit in. Chief, go ahead and start the show, man. We about to get out of here, man.
All right, man. Hey, man, this is definitely a good conversation. I definitely would like to get into it with you.
In the comment section. We're gonna let y'all discuss this in the comment section. Get in the comment section. Turn up. It's a heavyweight jam, man. So, Chief, all right, go ahead and start the show. Over there. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. We about to get out of here, man. Shout out to all the American Aborigines. I do want to make a special announcement, man. Shout out to everybody that did support the channel. Hold on 2 seconds, y'all. Hold on. Oh yeah, tonight, 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, we got Dr. Longo, Aboriginal Power in the Indigenous one, man. Decoding the history of the Americas. So we're gonna break down some shit, man. We're gonna get into a bag. Aboriginal Power, Indigenous one. Dr. Longo, aka Old World Florida, is going down tonight on Aboriginal Power platform, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. All right, I'll put up the notification and a reminder later on. Peace, love, and light to all the American Aborigines. Make sure y'all be safe, stay aware, stay vigilant, stay dangerous. We out of here. Peace.
See my life has been in motion. I'm a little windy. I'm not giving up yet. If you with me, time to place up your bet. Ain't no turning back. Got niggas who ran. When we caught his ass, got caught in that jam. Yeah, you know who I am. Yeah, you know who I am. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. Yeah, you can feel it coming. Fake love, that snake you in your face, love. That snake you in your face, love.
Oh, before I go, I gotta shout out a few people that did support the channel too, man. Shout out to King Yee for supporting the channel on getting a donation to get my computer fixed. Shout out to James Williams supporting. Shout out to Tay Bay for supporting, and shout out to Don't Do It for supporting to try to get my computer fixed. Also, shout out to Royal Bloodline for the PayPal donation and supporting and trying to help me get it fixed. So that brings it down to, man, we only need 27 more people to help support. So maybe the last few 200 people that's in here listening, maybe we can get 27 people in here to help support and knock that out the way, man. So shout out to everybody in the building. I love y'all. Nothing but love. Be safe, be aware, stay vigilant, stay dangerous. We out of here. Yeah, make sure y'all be safe out there.